Hello, and welcome to Voices in Education. I am your host, Natasha Lee. Hello, and welcome to another live conversation. I would definitely love to hear from you. Lots happened this morning there in China. I guess, if you're in Jamaica, I guess in China, it's in the evening. But for us, lots have happened, and would love to talk about, all that has happened there in China, especially Kishane Thompson. And, I would definitely love to hear from you. So as you come over, please give this live a like, share and hit that subscription button if you have not yet subscribed to this channel. So for sure, I would definitely love to hear from you. And, the WhatsApp number is right there on screen. That hello, and welcome. Sorry, I was here talking to myself. Okay, welcome, guys. Welcome to another live conversation. If this is your first time here, welcome to this safe space, the Voices in Education. This is a safe space where you can share and learn from each other. And if you're a returning viewer, listener, subscriber, welcome back. So we're going to have a conversation about, some of the takeaways from China. So we had, a leg there from the Diamond League in China today, and we want to talk about that, and especially in the context of Kishane Thompson. I would definitely love to hear your views on Kishane, other athletes there, Hansel Parchment, Rochelle Clayton, all the other athletes for sure. So if you're just tuning in, please remember to give this video a like, and encourage some persons to come over and be a part of this conversation. All right. So again, we want to have a conversation about what happened there in China. This conversation started this morning because I had a few persons, wanting to just hear from us. So we started this conversation this morning, but for sure, I would definitely love to hear from you. So don't be afraid to phone the WhatsApp number that you see on screen. I would love to hear from you. So if you'd like to call, again, the number is right there on screen. Please feel free to phone in. If you feel more comfortable sharing in the chat, you can definitely do that as well. All right, so more genius, hello, and more genius, thanks for liking. And more genius is saying great performance, and I guess you're referring to Kishane. All right, so great performance there indeed from Kishane Thompson. And might I add that Kishane is now in the number 6 spot, yes, as the fastest Jamaican of all times. All right, so Kishane is right there. So if you're just coming in, please give this live a like and help out some community members who may not have their post notification turned on. All right, so you can definitely help them in that way. Welcome. Would love to hear from you. Let's get the conversation going. And if you're new, this is a safe space where you can share and learn from each other. We understand that we share different views, perspectives, opinions, or wonders, and that is totally okay. Each of you bring your uniqueness to this space, and with that uniqueness comes diversity. And there is so much richness, in diversity with diversity that allows us to, share and learn from each other based on our experience and knowledge. So welcome. Do not be afraid to just call in and let's get the conversation going. So we see there in China earlier today where Kishane Thompson, and I was, joking around earlier this morning asking, is it a Thompson era? So I was kind of inserting myself in that one there, I am a Thompson as well. All right. So I was like, is it a Thompson era? But I was told, I guess there's no connection to Elaine Thompson era. And I don't know of a connection to Kishane Thompson. So Kishane is just Kishane Thompson. All right. So just to clear that up for you. So again, welcome. And we see where Kishane, clocks a massive PB there in China earlier today, 9.85, to take that second spot behind Christian Coleman, who clocked, I believe, 9.82 for that win. So I would definitely love to hear from you. Hansel Parchment. Hansel went on the 13 seconds, and we haven't seen that since, I believe, 2014. So that's another good performance there, and pretty much, Alloway was in that race, and Ansel, got the number 1 spot. So we're seeing some great performances. And talk to me. Are the men stepping up now? Can we say that we're feeling a bit more better in the context of seeing some men, shining? And, in the context of Kishane, we saw Kishane at the national trials, right? Doing 9.91, I believe. And I guess he did not show up for the final run, but we now see him again clocking 9.85. I believe this placed him at about 22 in terms of the world, in terms of times, and in the context of Jamaica, in the number 6 spot. So I would definitely love to hear from you. So who is going to call in? Let me just check my phone and to see if it is all good here. And I believe it is good. So we're ready for you. So don't be afraid to phone in. I would love to hear from you. What are some takeaways from China? What are some takeaways from China? Would definitely love to hear from you. And let me know where you're tuning in from. So do we have Antigua here, Bahamas, Barbados, Guyana, Grenada, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, USA, Jamaica, Suriname, St. Lucia, UK, the BVI. Let me know. All right. Let me know where you're tuned in from. All right. Just comment in the chat. Chat is still a bit quiet there, so I'll just keep, monitoring the chat, but for sure, just call in and let me know, where you're calling from. So earlier today we shared, or, someone commented in the chat, and then, I did some follow-up in the context of Kishane, where he has, I'm not sure what is affecting Kishane in the context of injury, but, Stephen Francis, so MVP coach, is trying to manage that. So it is the understanding, that was shared in the chat earlier, that, he'll be ready for Paris, right? So we are expecting to see some, great stuff from Kishane. And, I would love to hear from you, because this was a big surprise for me. This was a big surprise. And, he was running from lane 10. All right. There were 10 lanes, believe it or not. And he was running from lane 10. And what we noticed is that, after, crossing the line, he continued with the speed, going close to some, advertising boards. So we'd definitely love to hear from you in this context. So please call in, and do not be afraid to share in the chat as well, or you can definitely phone in. All right. So again, we're talking about, what happened there in China. All right. So welcome if you're just tuning in. And I'm going to share with you the times from that 100 meters. So I'm just going to get that for you and share some times with you. So again, in that 100 meters, Coleman from the US, so Christian Coleman took that in 9.83, a joint or equal, and that time equal the world leading time this year. And then we see Kishane Thompson in the number 2 spot with 9.85. Then Curly, so this is Fred Curly, 9.96. All right. Then we have Carnes, 10.01. Brace Williams, 10.02. So Kishane separated the Americans there. And then followed by Johan Blake in the number 6 position with 10.04. Jacob, so the Italian, with with 10.05. And then we have Zhen Yi of China, 10.12. Rohan Watson, 10.18. And Akeem Blake had some mishap there at the start. And so he had a time of about 25 point something, right? So he pretty much kind of dragged to the finish line, there. So we're hoping that, Akeem Blake is doing okay. All right, so again, we also had, the hurdlers doing very well, clean sweep there, led by Rochelle Clayton. So that was good there as well. So again, you can call in to share. Would definitely love to hear from you. All right, so and also Hansel Parchment. So I need to just say that again, that Hansel Parchment. Hansel one is 100-meter hurdles event in 12.96, a season best. And the last time we saw this kind of time from Hansel, I believe, was back in 2014. Stargate, welcome to the chat. Welcome. And is there a meet in Italy where Sha'Carri is supposed to be competing along with Brianna Williams? I don't know of that meet in Italy, but I can check. But as it relates to the Diamond League, the next stop will be in Brussels on September 8th. Yeah, so the next stop will be in Brussels on September 8th. So, and that's just one more before the finals in Eugene in the US. So the next stop, Brussels on September 8th in the context of the Diamond League. But for sure, Stargate, I could check on that. And if I find information, I'll share, on the community tab there. So welcome, Stargate. Is this their first time here? Let me know in the chat, or you can call the number that you see on screen. Would love to hear from you. What are your views on the various events there in China? Any takeaways? Let me know in the chat there. All right, so I'm just checking the chat, and let me just check my line here, just to ensure that I am not missing a call. All right, the phone line is open and, looking good. And the chat is very quiet. Well, I have some updates. I remember, okay, we're getting a call here. Hello, caller, you're live.
Hello, Natasha. How are things going?
Hi, Rurian. Thanks for phoning in. You always call on the right time so I can, get something to drink.
Oh, boy. Oh, I'm happy that I can, allow that to happen. But, good performances there by the Jamaicans in that Diamond League there in China. It was good to see so many Jamaicans out, and about, and that speaks volume to the country and the performances that we're putting in as athletes in Jamaica. So that was really good to see the huge number of athletes out there performing. And, quite a few of them did not participate in, well, a few of them didn't participate in the World Championship. So that, gave them that exposure as well, running internationally and running against some good quality competition. So that was really good. Some lovely performances the females continued from the World Championships, and they did well, and also the last Diamond League as well, and they did well. Clayton and the other two young ladies, they swept their 400 hurdles. That was amazing.
Yeah, for sure. So Ruren, I'm just going to put you on hold a bit and just take this caller.
No problem. All right.
All right. Hello, caller. You're live. Go ahead.
Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm super good.
Just hold a second. I don't think we're going through. Let me just try and get this call through the system here. Could you just talk again?
I'm great.
Okay, awesome. Now you're coming through. So in the chat, let me know if you're hearing. Where are you calling from? I think Bahamas. Bahamas. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I spoke to you last week.
Yeah, I picked up the voice, Bahamas. So what are your views on what happened in China?
What happened in China?
Wow, you missed the races. So you're seeing my screen right now?
Let me see.
So we had a Jamaican, Kishane Thompson, who clocked, 9.85, gaining that #2 spot, following behind Christian Coleman in that 100 meters run there. And Coleman clocked.
I saw that. I saw that, but I didn't. I actually walked in my room earlier this morning, and what happened, I saw a glimpse of it on the TV, but I didn't actually know where he was run.
Oh, yes. So what are your what are your takes, or big takeaways from China there?
Well, the takeaway is these athletes are very young, and what we need to do is put more into them and make sure they stay healthy.
Right.
I was just talking to someone today about the situation with the relay to the World Championship with the ladies. And I said to them, I don't know if you remember back then, Jamaica used to pick up individuals to run the relay. But when they reached the Olympics, they couldn't win nothing. Because either the athletes were too old and they just couldn't win. Because they just picked them individual. And it's never until when IWF decide, listen, we're gonna give relay runners an incentive. So it's more competitive. And that's how this money situation come about, the incentive come about, and that's how now the athletes, you gotta use your 4 best athletes. But back then, it wasn't the 4 best athletes they used. They just picked individual who they wanted to pick. And it looked like this is what we're going back to again. Like what Suchman did last week.
Well, we hope.
Are you there?
Yes, I'm still here. We're hearing you. We hope that is not the case in terms of, moving forward, and and hopefully, we're learning our lesson from, what happened there in Budapest in terms of moving forward. So I would want to believe, that given what is happening, in the media and, people coming forward, that we probably might see some changes moving forward.
Yes, it should have some critical changes moving forward. It's correct, because you cannot have people at the helm and they make a mistake, they have mistakes. And then they have a feeling they can just take it and throw it at the athletes. And it's like lies behind lies behind lies. Now that so much lies, the bucket is full, and all the lies flowing all over the place.
Yeah.
I just, in anything you do, it is a business, and you have to do it correctly to become successful. I just told a guy who works for me, yesterday, you do something, right? And all you got to say, listen, cold, the thing break. But don't walk off the people in house and you break something and you ain't say to me.
Right.
I need to know so I could replace it. And that's typical business. But when you do that and leave it and I don't know, then it can cause a problem. Because people looking at the sporting arena today is a life of living. Because it sure is nobody want to get up and work a $95 no more. So when these athletes get a chance, they need to allow the athlete to get their chance, let them do well, support them. Don't support the athlete, but you just, because the athlete work with you, you don't do that. And I used to watch a lot of coaches do that. And then they come around, they say it, they do it, then they come around calling out time. But how could you call out time when your athlete never placed in the trials to go to world championship or to the Olympic? But you calling about the time for the next man run. That doesn't make no sense to me.
Okay.
Because every athlete have a time to compete. And definitely, I think it's time for some heads to roll and start a new chapter. I saw they bragging about 12 medals. I don't know what they're bragging about. Which 12 medals? The 12 medals was majority of grants. We don't use to that from 2008. We don't use to those stuff. So they said to the Hem should never even, they should be ashamed of themselves, bragging about a couple brands, couple silvers. But we were on top of the world from 2008 until when it comes to medal standing. I don't know what they're bragging about. Or they believe they accomplish. They think they can accomplish something because they really not worrying about the athlete anyhow. They're not worrying about the athlete, they're worrying about themselves.
Right. So you're saying that there's so much more that we could have achieved, so we need to, fix, those mishaps and try not to repeat them.
They will repeat. If you do not change him, they will repeat. They will repeat. Trust me. Because look at this. If you have a pool of relay team, bring to a world championship, that means before you left Jamaica, you left with an intention to do what you got, to do what you want to do. And they did it in the mixed relay. And then make a major mistake in the mixed relay. And then you come around and do the same thing again. Not once, 3 times.
I get the point that you're making there. So you're saying that until they change, I guess, the leadership, then we're not going to see a difference.
Right. Gotta get rid of such man as the coach, the head coach. And even the president of the farmers at the Jamaican Athletic Association. Because they only sit up in there in their big suit and they leave. They don't run. They don't train. They don't practice. But they believe they're the one who get the work done. That's total foolishness. The people who put in the work doesn't get the praise. So what are your views on how things look at?
In terms of the athletes coming on the scene now?
Yeah.
Well, it's a positive look, and you know, I guess for the past couple of evenings, we have been talking about, you know, in general, not just from a Jamaican perspective, how the women are outperforming the men. And, you know, some persons mentioned even the switch of events where the women are closing the championships with, like, you know, relays and, you know, with, you know, the final event. So
yeah,
a lot was, you know, being, you know, said about that. So for today, I am happy to see, you know, Kishane, and, you know, we see Coleman there, you know, equaling that world leading time. So I am happy to see that. A bit disappointed in the context of Johan, but still good to see him clocking. I wanted to see, like, you know, a sub 10, but that did not happen today. Johan Blake.
Johan, well, I think with Johan, only doing it now for just racing, still competing, because a lot of people don't know the situation, what he had, the type of injury he had, because, you know, he had a few injuries, but he had a very serious injury, which one of them was the flesh, the muscles fall off the bone. And you will never get back to what you was. And then he's also getting older. When the muscle fall off the bone, it's very dangerous. So he getting up in age. So I believe he just competing for the time being.
Okay.
But so I wasn't disappointed. I wouldn't be anything disappointed with you, with Blake, because he have done his time. He been through some serious injuries, and him and Usain Bolt carried a flag high for a few years, from a couple of years, well, and it was actually two men, and also Frater and some other guys,
yeah,
in the 4x and Parchment and those guys. But sometimes mishaps happen, and it is what it is.
Yeah, that's true. I guess the disappointment comes where you just want him, knowing his talent, you know, second, you know, fastest man, tied with Tyson Gay there, I believe. You know, just wanting to see him. I guess that's where, but I guess based on your perspective that you shared, you know, that context, you know, is also understandable and should be taken into consideration. So in terms of giving him some grace and just knowing that, as I always say, we don't show up to the line to lose. No one wants to go to a line and lose. So you should go up, show up, and you try to give it your best.
You go with the full mentality, hey, I come to win. But at the same time, the truth is just the honest truth. When age starts to hit you, injuries hit you, it's hard for you to get back where you was. And I saw that in Usain Bolt. When Mr. Bolt was at his last peak, I saw it. See, a lot of people, I used to run track in high school. Primary school, I was at the time. But when you get to high school, it's a different grade. It's a different system, tough. And after practice and all this stuff, and you're not at the high level like these guys, you gotta go in ice water because your body need, you have to release the body because the tiredness, And you're practicing just about every day, every evening. So when the body reaches certain time, certain amount of years, it's just time for you to go. You don't want to accept it because the mind don't want to let you go, but the body, that old flesh, you have to go. But talking about the woman was always outperforming the man from back then. And also, I'm glad these young athletes, the twin sisters and those other young girls are in good coaching hands. So we could look forward to, I wouldn't say this Olympic coming up, or the next Olympic and the next World Championship. We could start counting medal from now.
Yeah. That's a good look.
What are your view on Sha'Carri?
Well, Sha'Carri is amazing, and we have had conversations about Sha'Carri, and and I remember Soji, I believe Soji was saying that only Elaine we can prepare to perhaps give Sha'Carri the challenge right now. So in that context, because we have some athletes, and as you suggest, some young athletes who are still in the process. So if it is that we want to, I guess somewhat, take over that spot from Sha'Carri, the best bet we have right now is Elaine. And we just need to ensure that she's supported, because we saw that she went, 10-5.
Yes.
So in that context, I guess, I would want to side with that to say, Elaine, because we can't expect, I remember, I believe Soji too was saying, we can't expect that from Shelly. We don't want to put that on Shelly,
No.
Shelly did what she, come to do, and still amazing, pocket rocket. But for now, based on where we're at, Elaine.
Yeah, and because Elaine ain't have much leave because Elaine is now 27.
Elaine is about 31, I believe.
All of that? Oh, is Sharika 27?
Yeah, Sharika is younger. Yeah.
Yeah. The problem with Sharika is, that girl, Sha'Carri, run like Usain Bolt.
That's what we were talking, that she has that top end speed that, Sharika does not have to go through the finish.
Sharika was, I think if she ran to the finish line, she would have not been beat. But where she noticed she was ahead of Shelly, and the girl come beat on the line with the top end speed. Now, the problem is, I used to go to this bar whenever Sha'Carri was running. I used to go to this bar and everybody talk and sport and say, I said, listen, this should be the next Olympic champion. And like 3 days later, say it was test positive for marijuana. Boy, you want to hear the minute clock. You pulling for the dope head. I said, no. She made a mistake.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's a mistake.
Yeah, and we learn from mistakes. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's young, and she needs grooming. See, you gotta understand, she was a young girl, and she needs advice, people around her, advice her, because have people hanging around you and not people giving you good advice doesn't make no sense. I told them, anytime she get the right to the people around her, she gonna be a problem to handle. And she have the same tapping speed like Usain Bolt. You may leave her in the block, but when it's time to reach up top. She's right here.
Yeah, for sure.
But we have a full good crop. I don't know about the men's because 1 minute they show some class, and then next minute I was just laughing. I see that's Blake leaving the block.
Akeem, yes. Something like he stumbled. I'm not sure what happened there, but yeah.
Stumble. I didn't start stumbling. It looked like he just get left in the block.
I don't know. Like when I was watching, it seemed as if he was jumping out of the blocks. I guess persons in the chat, you can share on that. And then I don't know, like he was trying to get up so quickly where I'm not sure what happened there, but yeah, he had that unfortunate experience there today.
Yeah. It's just one of those days. But they still need the support of I don't know how they're gonna get it. Because on my side, if I give them the anything, I personally put it in their hand. Because certain people cannot be trusted when it comes to money. So we need to get together where to see the right person, where the private sector could do their donation to help forward with the athletes.
For sure, and we see corporate coming on because a lot of these athletes they're signing with brands, so like Grace, Flow,
Right.
Digicel. So and I guess it comes with performance. So we're hoping that athletes understand to the brand that their self that they're bringing to the fore. And as you say, we just need to provide that support for them where they can continue to be successful. So how is it going on there in Bahamas? What is the weather like?
Boy, you would want to be here.
It's what, hot?
Hot.
Hot. Okay.
And I'm doing some work inside. I have a few small contracts inside Isabella.
Okay.
So I'm doing some work like in an enclave gated community called Life with Key.
Okay.
So like the rich and famous them with on farm expat with second homes and stuff.
Okay.
And the water, surrounded by water, like the canal and stuff.
Okay.
And then all the house have a pool in it. So when the sun come out and hit the water, I change like 7 shades a day. Because within an hour, a shade is just soak.
I'm seeing in the chat here where they said Jamaica is burning up as well. It's hot in Jamaica.
Yeah, I saw that because I have an aunt. Her aunt died down there. She buried last Saturday. And I wanted to come to the funeral, but I couldn't make it. So I just sent some money for support. But otherwise, I see my uncle. He said, boy, the sun's so hot. I say, at least the sun hot down there. But the heat here is just different.
Okay. Yeah.
Even if you're in your room and you go to the kitchen to cook, you have to make sure you turn on the air conditioner in the kitchen.
Yeah, so I guess it's very humid, so you feel as if you're just stifling,
right.
Or I know that kind of
right.
heat. So if you're in Cayman Islands, that's the kind of heat in Cayman Islands as well. So
yeah, also in Canada.
Yep.
But in Canada,
some parts.
Canada getting back cool now.
Well, it's hot for now, so hopefully, as we go into fall, it's going to fall down in terms of the temperature. So yeah.
Yeah, and depends on the water. If we ain't get enough rainfall, we'll be in plenty problem.
All right.
because the rainfall is helped to keep it very cold. Because what happens when it evaporates, the water evaporates from the earth, it just gets hotter. Just get worse.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're in the east, and if you're in the east, you could see in the west, but the water just sucking going back up to the sky, to the cloud.
All
but
right.
it is what it is. Everything else is all right here. Nice, everything else is good.
Awesome. So thank you for calling in. And, as always, if you hear another point and you want to call back later in the program, you can definitely do that.
Yes, I will.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, take care there. So hello to all the people tuned in from the Bahamas, and I know the chat is buzzing. So welcome if you're just tuning in. Welcome to this conversation. We're talking about what happened there in China, and I would definitely love to hear from you. We would love to hear from you. So don't be afraid to phone the number that you see on screen. Please remember to like, and hit that subscription button as well. Just close the chat for a few seconds and give this, live a like, and let's keep sharing about this safe space. If you're new to this space, welcome. This is a space where we can share and learn from each other. It doesn't matter if you have a different view, perspective, or opinion. That is totally okay. You have a voice, and we do that in a very respectful way to ensure that we are maintaining this safe space. All right, so I'm just going up in the chat here, and Trending Sports, thanks for letting me know. Soji, welcome. And Kiwi, welcome to the chat as well. And Kiwi saying great run. Trending Sports and Entertainment is saying honesty is the best policy. Workers and bosses should be able to communicate well on all issues. And I believe that comment was relating to our last caller there, Sharon. And we saying the leaders of connections to training camps. And Johan is just making some bucks, I guess. Yeah, he did his time, so he's just working now. There is nothing wrong with that. Absolutely not. And thanks for sharing there, Kiwi. And Trending Sports and Entertainment agreeing with Kiwi. Leaders of Connection, Rani. Welcome, Rani. I am doing okay, Ronnie. Thank you so much for asking, and thank you so much for the blessings, and right back at you with those blessings. So Ronnie is saying, God bless you always and your channel. Thank you very much. And Kiwi saying track and field needs Shakari, and we got lots of that in the context of her personality, what she's bringing to the track. And Kiwi saying the athlete that is closing fast is always dangerous. Yep. KJ, welcome. Love this channel too. At Nani, thank you, KJ. Trending Sports, they're confirming that Elaine is 31 years old. Kansi, welcome. Welcome. Hello, guys. Or hey, guys. Good evening to all on this blessed night. All right. Thanks, Kansi, and good evening to you too. All right, KW Jamaica is burning up. Yes, I read this one, hot like fire here too. I guess it's hot right now. And Ruren there greeting Kansi. I went to the ocean today, and it is the first I have ever felt an ocean that hot. Okay, KW? Wow, it felt like I was in hot water. You can definitely call in, KW, if you can, and share. Kansi, I am very happy and proud of my Jamaicans that are in China doing their thing. Definitely, Kansi, if you'd like to call in and share, please feel free to call the number that you see on screen there. Would love to hear from you. And Soji, how are you? Let me know, your thoughts, your views on things. I know that, you're going to call at some point. So the phone line is open again. So you can phone in. Let me see who is going to call in next. So again, if you're just tuning in, welcome, welcome. Remember to give this video a like and, share, and also hit that subscription button. So again, in the 100 meters run there, we saw Kishane Thompson clocking a massive PB 9.85, gaining that number 2 spot behind Christian Coleman 9.83 of the US. And so we want to hear, more. I want to hear from you. What do you know about Kishane? Because what I have, learned, from this morning and I guess we saw him at the trials, just running, I guess, one race or something to that effect, clocking 9.91. And now we see, and, we're told that he did not show up for the finals. I also read that, he has some injury that is being managed, by Stephen Francis. So he's at MVP. And I guess this is no surprise because at that point, I guess in July, Francis, was expecting, bigger and better things from Kishane. And I remember this morning when we were talking, one person pointed out that, Kishane will be doing some great things at Paris 2024. So for sure, that is something good, especially in the context where, we're saying we want somebody to step up, we want the males to step up, and we saw something good today. And also with Parchment did, I believe, 12.96, and we haven't seen that since, I believe, 2014. So some good stuff, and Parchment got that number 1 spot against, Holloway. Holloway had to settle in the 3rd position today. So that's another, big thing there. So definitely love to hear from you. Kiwi saying MVP was managing, I guess, an injury. So he's being prepared for the Olympics. And for sure, we'll definitely want to see more of Kishane Thompson. I was joking earlier, asking, is this the Thompson era? The era of the Thompsons. All right. So, I'm a Thompson, right? But no connections to the Thompsons, but I am a Thompson, just saying. All right, welcome, guys. Welcome. If you're just tuning in, welcome to this conversation. Please remember to hit the like button to help some persons who may not have their post notification turned on. And also hit the subscription button if you have not yet subscribed to this channel. I know we have, I see you, Kiwi. I see you, Kiwi. I see you, Kiwi, laughing out loud. Yes, I'm wondering, is it the Thompson era? Like, I am a Thompson, Elaine is a Thompson, Kishane is a Thompson, and I am getting a call here. Hello, caller, you're live.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, Soji, what's up?
Yeah, I'm here. You're just watching. Thanks for the info today. That's I end up get up and watch the race. I never get to see the 100 because when I get up the 100 run.
Oh.
But I see the other races and I see I tell you Parchment is a champion runner, man.
Yeah.
And the girls in the 400 in the 400 are
yeah,
1, 2, 3, that was good.
Yeah, clean sweep.
And the next girl run a good time. She beat the girl from Barbados and finished second. That was good. And well, I see the result. That guy, Thompson, he don't run bad. No, he don't run bad at all. He run good time. But as for me, though, the person that's just get up on the mark, set go, that's anyone can run those time. We want to see how good it is in a championship where you go round by rounds.
Right.
That's when I yeah. So what you should do, like next Diamond League, when the league starts, you should come up and start a show at the time and give and just talk about it. I know you cannot show it,
Right.
but then you just come up and start. But I don't know if it would be okay if, or maybe you cannot do it if I give you the feed from
I
my end.
have the feed, you know, but you know, I don't know. So if you guys know about like a watch along in the context of playing audio, I would have to check that out because I have the feed. But I don't know if I can play the audio. But for sure, if you guys want to come on live while it is running and we can just talk about it and share reactions right away, we can do that as well.
And that time, you can do that and you build up the views at the same time too. Because loads of person will come on and share their views during the moment. So we can do that. And so that would be okay. Yeah, but sooner or later, as time go by and you get your thing going and it's up and running, you can start come on and because you can come and stop shy away and come and
not shying away. But soon you guys will see video, and soon if you guys want to join on video, you can do that because we have that in place. It's just to get some other logistics, you know, worked out. But soon, Soji.
Yeah, that's when you see the person see you on call and because the good thing about it, you have the live audience where you can talk. Some person is just they can just you just send a text and they read it, but you're doing everything and yours perfect. You're doing a great job.
Thank you. Really appreciate it.
I just want to set it. Even the person that was beside you yesterday that talked, you can just make him help you set it and not read the real and proper way.
We're going to do that, Soldier, but sometimes, you know, dynamics of things, but we'll definitely talk, you know, so it's just that sometimes, but for sure, that is in the making in terms of, you know, expanding bigger and better. And we have the software where we can invite persons in and on screen, so for sure.
Yeah, you just send the person the link and they come on live and person call in and they talk and you have a discussion and person continue listening to the discussion. And because like Mr. Portmore and another person that who know the sports and so forth, so they just keep on going like that. Then when it come up to Man Cup season and so forth, sometimes you come in a bit early for the schoolboy season, you can talk about it. And you share any sports with Reggae Boys, because Reggae Boys going to play again soon. Sometimes you have to chip in and talk about the Reggae Boys some of night. Then, like when the athletics kind of go down and football playing, they talk about football and personally, because as you said, we can talk any sports as long as it's going you just come and then sometime what you do, you can get some interviews with different persons and you understand?
Yes.
But as I said, I will organize some interview for you with some person that's you and they can link up and talk with them and that would mean that you are the one going to ask them a lot of questions.
For sure. Thank you.
Yeah, so yeah, man, you're doing a great job. You're just building and you're creeping real good, you know. So
that is it. You have to creep before you walk.
One is creep, that means that when they come and you set up those things that person can drop in them $2 and things to keep the channel going. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely, you guys, you're going to see me soon.
I just send some stuff, so send the links to some other guys in Jamaica and America and tell them to just subscribe and just share it and keep sharing it. I want you to get that you can start to have everything like any other bloggers that you know you reach. I don't know how much you have to reach, you know, so. But I just wanted to reach that milestone.
Yeah.
Then you just continue. Hope you can reach at least if we can get it up even to 500,000 by the year end, that would be great.
Yes, wonderful. And you know, the sky is the limit. So that's it.
Yeah. So that would be great. Yeah. And just continue to work at it and just go like that. But as I said, the athlete they done very well. But sorry, some of them never performed like that at the not the Diamond League, at the World Championship. So that means next week now, Elaine and Sharika, all of them going to be at the next Diamond League weekend.
I will have to double check that to see the list, but I am believing, I would want to believe that Sharika is going to be in Brussels, but I'll double check and let you guys know. As always, you know, I try to just send you the information. And because this is always updating, but the next stop is in Brussels and it's going to be on September 8th. And in that one, that's the last chance the athletes will have to make it to the finals in Eugene.
Oh, well, that means that maybe Sherika not going to be there then because she already
into the finals. Yes, so I'm not sure.
So other person. So like Brian and those girls should go and just get some run under the belt and build and set themselves up between all those girls should just go there and run. So, but sorry that Akeem Blake fell. So he have a next chance to go to Brussels and try and make it.
Yeah, so I don't know, but to me it seemed as if he was coming out very fast, and then I don't know what happened with him. Yeah, it seemed as if he was just like jumping out of the blocks, and then to me he just fell. Yeah.
When those things happen, all those things in life, so you will drop some and support. But as I said, I want to see. Well, maybe Sybil might qualify already too. I don't know if he make it to the final. So I don't know if he's qualified, if they're judging it by that. But I still want to see Sybil and they run to the line.
Yeah.
So, but I'm going to continue listening, and I said this at a pro that the boys and the girls them today. So I want to see, and I would love to see the girl Tracy, I like the way she
is improving. Yes, for sure.
Yeah, improving because I remember last year in Bahamas that she should run 4 minutes and 11 seconds over the 1500. And I see she work it down to 3 minutes this time to set a national record. And that was great to see.
Yeah, definitely. Adele. Yeah, doing good there. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, today I was listening something with and Sportsmax when they were talking about the incident that's happened, and you said this thing that Chase bring up it's good because a lot of athletes question a lot of stuff, but we're gonna leave that for next time. But we have to talk about these things, these issues at times, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like this has, yeah, for sure, this has brought, you know, into question, and I don't remember who shared, but somebody shared in one of our conversations that perhaps why this thing was not coming up, you know, to the fore as how it did was because, you know, we have Bolt and, you know, they're successful and because they're winning, you know, medals, and nobody's going to, even if it is, you know, out there, nobody's going to pay much attention because you're winning.
It's
what is the problem?
Time. Yeah. I remember an incident with Veronica Campbell, and she ended up that even the run and the relay team. But through they were winning, people were just overlooking soft stuff. But Tracy come and wake up their danceness. There's a lot of stuff that these things was supposed to wake up long time because things change now. And I can understand what you were saying, because when you look at it, the guy that says to come, he never named in the team.
Yeah.
He never named in the team. and then you're going to squeeze him through the back door. Even a guy that, this guy that run the 200 meter, they take him, and he rank, I think, about 50 in the world. And they have person that's doing field event rank higher than him that in the 200 meter, and they leave him because he's not at the club. And but at least they name him in the team. And they say they carry him to run a backup for the relay. But the guy named Hudson, that guy is a 10.09 runner. So he's the best, our best 200 meter runner. So you should have him as a backup instead of you're going to take someone else as a backup if you say you never have no money. So, but these things need bigger than Maurice to come and answer. We have maybe Mark Gale have to come forward and say something to the Jamaican public about this issue. Because this issue going on a long time. It's not just now, but so is someone have to bring it out, and sometimes you have to just stand up. Because if those slaves back in those days, Paul Bogue, Shamshak, they never fight. And now some of us are still getting beaten with still. So you have to give up, you have to stand up. Sometimes you have to tell yourself that you might not inherit it, but someone else will come inherit it. So you have to stand up for your right.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
Because you see, as I always tell people, you see, stand up and talk for my right. I know that is, because my right is like my life. And my life is my right. If I can't look on you and say, I don't agree with you, then I don't have no right. I was in the camp already, and the colonel come and say something, and I say, sir, I'm not talking on behalf of my fellow men, I'm talking for myself. I don't agree with you. And him say, blah, blah, blah. I say, I not go tell you about nobody, no word you tell me, because I know what can happen. So I don't agree. And when he realized I stand up, he come back around and come say something different. Because I just never agree.
Right.
But some person in the workplace, even in England here, some person in a workplace are afraid to talk because they said they're afraid they'll have stage. No, you cannot afraid of certain thing. You stand up. Well, as I said to the person, don't do like, maybe you can't do like, follow me, but I will stand up in my workplace. I stand up. I mean, if it's me alone against the odds, I stand up. But it's when you know you're right, yes, you cannot lose. No one can fire you as long as you know you're right. But if you don't know you're right, then that's the problem they will have over you. That first person will try to call you down to let you be afraid. No. So that's why I just want to see the Jamaican team, athletics team, everything work good. If you pick 50 person, you pick the 50 person, as you say, go. Don't bring someone after you reach what was in the team. The person gonna scream when something like that happens. And you cannot blame them.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So that's how it goes. So okay, I'm going to let someone else call in, and I continue to listen and send in my text when I hear someone say something else. Okay.
For sure. Thank you so much, Soji. Thank you so much.
No problem.
All right. So that's Soji there from the UK. And hello to all the people of the UK tuned in. And, Soji always come with some good nuggets here. And Alex, welcome to the chat, Alex. And Kiwi, okay, you're agreeing with Soji there. Awesome. Soon. All right. We're creeping before we start walking, but soon we're gonna walk. All right. So definitely there, Kiwi. And does anyone have the 100 meters race today, the men's race? What do you want? Like the time? I can share the times with you, and let me just share the times with you if that helps, Kiwi. And so Christian Coleman, 9.83. So Christian of USA in the number 1 spot. Kishane Thompson, 9.85. Definitely of Jamaica. Is it a Thompson era? Let me know. Thompson things. All right. And Fred Purley in the third position, 9.96. So we had 3 men going under the 10 seconds there. And followed by Brandon Carnes of USA, 10.01. So that's number 4. Then Marvin Bracy Williams, number 5, 10.02 of USA. Johan Blake of Jamaica, 10.04. So that's our dear Johan there. And Marcel Jacobs, so the Italian, 10.05. Zhen Yi of China, 10.12. Rohan Watson of Jamaica, 10.18. And Akeem Blake, and as I mentioned earlier, he had, some mishap at the blocks there. And I'm seeing 25.13 because he went and, finished the race. So kudos to him there. All right. So again, we saw some great things there in China, and the 11 athletes, they went, showed up and showed off. And, Kishane Thompson, in my head, or as I said earlier today, my brain is telling me that Kishane is a past student of Garvey Maceo High School. I am wondering if somebody can confirm that for me in the chat. Do you know? So I am, Clarendon, and I'm a country girl. So I just want to know, is he a Cuban? Let me know in the chat if you're aware of that. And again, so that was the 100 meters. In the 400 meters today, we had Kirani James in the number 1 spot with 44.38. And that was the same time that Quincy All got of the USA. So Kirani is from Grenada. So Quincy All in the number 2 spot got that time, followed by our own Rasheen McDonald of Jamaica, 44.82. So those were the top contenders there, or the top 3. And let's go on to the men's 110-meter hurdles. And of course, we have Hansel Parchment, 12.96. And again, this is awesome for Hansel because we have not seen this since, I believe, 2014. And so Hansel was in that number 1 spot, followed by Daniel Roberts of USA, 13.03. And then Grant Holloway of USA, recently crowned world champion, 13.12. All right, so some information there for you. And with the 400 meters, so the 400 meters, Paulino of the DR, number 1 spot, Candice McLeod of Jamaica in the number 2 spot, and Lynette Irby Jackson of USA in the 3rd position. And of course, I have to mention Shade Williams of Barbados getting that number 4 spot. So we see Caribbean athletes out there, doing well. And we have one more event that you're going to be interested in. So it's the women's 400-meter hurdles, Rochelle Clayton. And it was a clean sweep for Jamaica. All right, Rochelle, Andrenet Knight, and Janeve Russell. In that order, that's the top 3 there in this event. And again, very good going from the girls. But, this evening, I was saying my favorite or my biggest takeaway was really Kishane with this, 9.85. And I would love to hear from you. What is your biggest highlight, from China? What stood out for you from China? And for sure, let me just check this line here. The phone line is open. Would definitely love to hear from you. So don't be afraid to call in. Don't be afraid to call in. The line is open. Please remember to close the chat and give this live a like And, if you're new to this space, welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Voices in Education, where you can share your views, perspectives, opinions, or wonders, in a safe environment where we respect each other and we understand that we see things differently based on our experience, our knowledge. And so, this space is one where you can definitely share your voice. All right. So hit that subscription button if you're new to this space. All right. Not seeing any new comments there in the chat. But I know that I believe last evening, someone asked, I believe it was Mr. Portmore, who asked about Hibbert, Jaden Hibbert. So I, looked up that information that I want to share with you, that it was a hamstring injury that he got. And the coach is pretty much saying, setback for a massive comeback. So they're going to go back to the drawing board for sure in that context. And we want to see the best from Hibbert, as always, the best from, our athletes in general. So the coach was pretty much, sharing that it's a minor setback for a major comeback. So we're hoping to see, Hibbert again next year for that, 2024 showdown there in Paris. All right. So pretty much I would want to say, and I know they were planning based on what the coach said, it was a grade 1 hamstring strain. All right. So, and in that, interview, the coach pointed out that they already started treatment and I guess processing their way in terms of moving forward. So we'll definitely, hopefully see something good going forward. And, the coach really agreed that, obviously Hibbert, he has a bright future ahead, and they did not want to make in Budapest there to allow emotions to get in the way. And, so it's better to, pull from the competition and ensure that, you can secure your future in the context of, not, I guess, making the injury worse, because the coach was explaining that there weren't any signs, that you would have suffered an injury. So it was, I guess, something that came up and they did what was best in that moment. So that's good. And we want to wish, Hibbert all the best. I almost said Kishane. Jaden, all the best. And one more thing, the coach mentioned that moving forward, they're going to do some labs in terms of blood work to see if there are any deficiencies, that were missing, or that's what the coach is saying. But, for example, calcium deficiencies. And I'm going to quote here. The coach said, from there, we will then build for next year with a better plan in place to ensure that he, which is Hibbert, continues to train and stays healthy. And then we look for more exciting things through the NCAA season and into the Olympics. So, I have a little question mark about the NCAA, but I guess the coach, I'm not a coach, so I cannot speak to that. I don't know, but I feel that sometimes our athletes, they do too much there. And, when it comes on to the big stage, that, that amount of work costs them. It's costly. They pay for it on the big stage. But we're hoping that, Kishane will be okay. And, we can see him back on the field there, doing very well. Trending sports, I am happy Hibbert is diagnosed and recovering. Yes, for sure. We want all the athletes to be okay. where they can do their best. You know, we want them to be at their best, and so that is important in terms of having a good team. And I remember, I believe the first caller mentioned, you know, in terms of Shakari there making a mistake, but you know, having a good team in place can definitely help you to move forward. You know, a good team where you can come like a Shakari and say, you know, I am not back. I am better. Like, you know, I've always been here. It's just that I am better now. So that is also important. And it's just like us as people, you know, sometimes we need a support system. So for some of us, our support system, you know, might reach out to something happen, you might reach out to family members, you might reach out to friends, you know, somebody that you know you can talk to. And so, or share, or somebody, you know, who will support you, you know, somebody who's going to build you up. And even if they're going to be critical in terms of criticisms, those criticisms are going to be constructive in terms of building you up and, you know, preparing you for the future, because that is definitely important there as well, right? So we want to see that as well. All right, welcome. If you're just tuning in, welcome to this safe space. For sure, I would love to hear from you. What is your biggest highlight from China? Would definitely love to hear from you. And if you would like to share, you know, what do you believe, or what are your views on Christian Coleman there equaling the world leading time? All right. So I would love to hear from you because we saw him in Budapest. Do you have a different perspective of Coleman now? You know, what are your views? Just share in the chat, and for sure would love to hear from you. So don't be afraid to call the number that you see on screen. Somebody said earlier, I believe it was Rurian, who said, you know, it might seem a bit hard to call the first time, but once you call, it is so easy to call back because it is so easy to talk and just share. So that was good to hear. So call and share. It's totally okay, you know, to call and share. Would love to hear from you. The phone line is open, so don't be afraid to call in and share your perspectives. All right. So again, we see Kishane Thompson. Some persons may describe him as a mystery athlete coming on the scene. We saw him at the Nationals running 9.91. And then we see him today doing 9.85. But as Soji pointed out, you know, this time is all well and good, but we want to see the athletes managing the rounds, because sometimes, you know, that is important in terms of overall performance on the big stage. So is it, and he's at a good place in terms of, you know, having a good coach. We were also, I guess, based on the news, or based on what is in the news, Kishane has some form of injury that is being managed. Not sure what it is, but I guess it was, you know, the strategy of the coach to get a race in, you know, and I guess work on him for 2024. So think about that, you know, Kishane doing so well there. And again, he is the number 6 fastest Jamaican man of all time. All right. So he's ranked number 6 right now with this 9.85 run. And I believe he's now ranked at number 22 in the world. So some good stuff there from, you know, Kishane. So it was good to see that. And again, the ladies there having a clean sweep. Good to see that. And to see Paulino as well from the DR. Good run there. And to see McLeod, you know, Rasheen. So I guess the 11 Jamaicans, I would ask you, from the 11 Jamaicans in, I almost said Budapest, in China, you know, who stood out the most for you? So 11 athletes, and I'm just going to remind you of their names right now. Hansel Parchment, Rohan Watson, Akeem Blake, Johan Blake, Kishane Thompson, Rasheen McDonald. I'm not sure I saw Zandrian, but Rochelle Clayton, Andrenet Knight, Janive Russell, Candice McLeod. You know, who stood out for you in China? Would love to hear from you. Who stood out in that one from China? You can definitely phone and share, or you can share in the chat. Welcome if you're just tuning in. Welcome to this conversation. Please remember to close the chat and like this live. And if you're new to this space, welcome, welcome, welcome to the Voices in Education. Please remember to subscribe if you have not yet hit that subscription button. You are safe with us. You can definitely invest. You know, we're not going to run away with your money. All right, you're safe. Your investment is safe. All right, you're not leaving anywhere with your subscription. Your investment is safe with us. You're safe with Voices in Education. So we don't need to worry about that. So definitely bank on it, right? Hit that subscription button. All right, so the chat is a bit quiet right now. Last comment. Let me just refresh because sometimes the comments do not show up right away for me. So let me just try and get back into the chat and to see what is happening. No, I'm not seeing any new comments, but for sure I am seeing 28 of us here and just about 17 likes. So please close and give this live a like. That would be awesome. And also hit that subscription button as well. All right, so again, if you missed the races, you know, Kishane Thompson, he clocked a massive PB of 9.85 in China, but he was in the second position right behind Christian Coleman in that #1 spot with 9.83, equaling the world leading time. And also Hansel Parchment with a season best that we have not seen, you know, since 2014. So sub 13. So that's also awesome. And Kerry saying, why are so many Jamaican athletes getting injured? Is there a problem with the coaching techniques? And I can't provide a response for that, but what I probably say is that I guess it comes with the territory. I don't know. And your body and how it's developing. I really can't speak to that, but I'll throw that out to you viewers and listeners. You know, what are your takes on this one? Why are so many Jamaican athletes, you know, experiencing, you know, injury? You can share in the chat. You can definitely call the number on screen. Kiwi, do you want to call in? Long time we not hear from Chulan, you know. And I think these coaches need to upgrade to some modern training styles. Too many injuries on the young athletes. All right, so I see that point there, Kiwi. You can definitely call. Tell us what is going on there in Trelawney and, you know, what happened on the ocean. Who you crossing the ocean for? You know that song? I will cross the ocean for you. Who you crossing the ocean for, Kiwi? So call in and let us talk. Call in and let us talk. All right. So again, welcome if you're just tuning in. Welcome to this conversation. Would definitely love to hear from you in the chat or on the phone. So don't be afraid to call the number that you see on screen. All right. So please call in. We would love to hear from you. All right, so phone in, guys. Phone in, guys. The line is open. And again, let me just remind you, Kiwi. All right, Kiwi. All right, Kiwi. All right, Kiwi. No comment. No comment. Speechless. Speechless. No comment there, Kiwi. All right, Kiwi. All right, so guys, if you're just tuning in, welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to another live conversation. This is a safe space where we can share and learn from each other. And we're talking about, takeaways from China. So, quite a few events happened there in China. And I'm just going to share back those events with you, the top ones that, I guess you are interested in. And for sure, I'm just trying to get this information up right now to share with you again. And almost there. All right, so just look in the chat. Okay, you live near the ocean. Okay, okay, okay. I guess you're a good diver swimmer if you're going on the ocean. And if you're going to cross the ocean, please don't go down into that little cylinder thing, okay? Not safe. And I want you back here. All right, so in the 100 meters, we had Christian Coleman of the USA in the #1 spot, 9.83, equaling the world leading time for this year. Kishane Thompson of Jamaica, and you can see him on screen there, 9.85 in the #2 spot. And Fred Curley in the 3rd position, and 9.96 of US. Where is Kishane from? That's what I've been asking. I don't know. Perhaps I've seen that he's a past student of Garvey Maceo High School. So I am hoping that somebody can confirm yes or no. Yeah, that's what my brain is telling me, that I read somewhere that he's a Cuban, so a past student of Garvey Maceo. So not sure. So we saw that there were some other Jamaicans in the 100. So Johan Blake in the #6 spot, Rowan Watson in the #9 spot, and Akeem Blake, struggled out of the blocks there in the 10th position. And by the way, people, Kishane Thompson ran from lane 10, right? Kishane Thompson ran from lane 10. That's what a lot of people say in KW, that Kishane is a mystery man. And it's pretty much at the trials, yes, that, people heard of Kishane Thompson. And so we're wondering, is it a Thompson era thing? Thompson things. So that's Kishane Thompson, and hopefully some persons can share. If you know about Kishane, would love to learn more about Kishane. So you can share or you can call in. Then over to the 100-meter hurdles, we had Hansel Parchment taking that in 12.96. And in the #2 spot, the Daniel Roberts and then Grant Holloway of both athletes there from the United States. But I bet he's from a non-traditional high school. I guess so, because we don't really know the name. So I don't know. As I said, my brain is telling me that he's a past student of Garvey Maceo. And if that is true, Garvey Maceo is in Clarendon. So big up all the Cubans. That's how they refer to themselves. So the Cubans, hello, if you're tuned in, let me know. Is Kishane one of you? All right, let us know. And then from the 110-meter hurdles for men, we move to the women's 400 meters. So Paulina of DR got that one, and Candice McLeod of Jamaica was in the #2 spot. We have Jackson, so Lena Jackson of USA in the 3rd position, followed by Sade Williams of Barbados in the number 4. Sade Williams of Barbados in the number 4 position. Hopefully I'm still getting her name correctly there. All right, Sade or Sade. I am hoping I am getting her name correctly. All right, and then we move to the 400-meter hurdles. So the women's 400-meter hurdles, we had a clean sweep for Jamaica. So Rochelle, then Andrenet, then Genevieve. All right, so the ladies did very well there. All right, so yeah. And did I miss any? No, those were some of the main events there. Welcome if you're just tuning in. I would love to hear from you in the chat. This is a safe space. It doesn't matter if your perspective, opinion, or view is different. Your voice is welcome, and we share in a respectful way to ensure that we are maintaining our safe community. And what is Ansel's fastest time? You know, I got that today. I believe it's, was it 12:94? Let me just check, because it would have been perhaps the time in 2014. I look at that today, and I'm going to try and find that information somewhere for you. I'm going to try and find that, but I saw that somewhere today because I went back to check, 2014, because I saw that in the news to say it was, I guess he has not done this good since 2014. So it's going to be sub 13 for sure. But good question there, Kiwi. Good question. But I looked at that, so just not remembering right now. All right, so I'm just checking in the chat there. Again, welcome if you're just tuning in, welcome. Welcome. Please close the chat briefly and, give this, just touch that thumbs up button, right? The thumbs up button, and give this video a like. All right, and share with friends and family members and encourage them to come on over and be a part of this safe space. And for sure, you have a voice over here, so we would love to hear your voice. So don't be afraid to phone the WhatsApp number that you see on screen. Thanks, Kiwi. Thanks. All right, thanks for checking that out for us. Kiwi, seems as if you're the head boy this evening in the chat. Did Kishane ever run at champs? I am not sure. We'll have to go back and do some, research, because again, even if he did, I guess he wasn't, coming in the top. It wasn't a big name. He was under the radar kind of thing. Arona, welcome. Hello. Welcome, Arona. Would love to hear from you. What are your takeaways from China? Would definitely love to hear from you. All right, so I'm just checking. All right, Kiwi saying, I want to know more about Kishane. I've been going to boys champs for years, and I have never heard that name. Okay, so we have some research to do for sure. I'm trying to at least, figure out the high school, because Kishane is about 22 years old. So Kishane is very young. So, I'm going to check with some Cubans that I know and to find out, if Kishane is one of them. So getting a caller here. Hello, caller, you're live.
Hello, not to see how things going.
Ruyen, welcome, welcome. We're having a very good conversation here, and persons are trying to figure out, you know, Kishane Thompson, the mystery man.
Well,
Do you have
I
any
think it's
information to
working.
share on Kishane?
No, I don't, and I love to have those information at my fingertips as well, because I think that race that he ran has ignited a certain feeling in me as it relates to male sprinting in Jamaica. So that race was, I don't think he executed a perfect race, but what I saw was really amazing.
Well, that's good. That's good. And yeah, everyone is, looking forward to see, okay, 21, thanks, Kiwi. Everyone is looking forward to see Kishane, but how do you feel about, Soji mentioned that, it's all good going to a one event and running this good time. Do you think that Kishane could pull off this kind of performance or better after going through the rounds, or do you know what are your views on that?
Well, I don't know, but I'm optimistic, and this is the reason why I'm optimistic. When his coach in dialogue with him, when they can come up and make certain decisions that relates to his fitness, then that speaks volume for what he will be doing in the future. Because he could have been forced and pushed ahead of what his body was able to manage. He went to the World Champs, did the rounds, and could have come away with an injury. But the fact that the coach decided, all right, you're not ready yet, but if you need to do some more work, I think that is something that he must be commended for. And it's a case, if he knows if he stays healthy, he's going to do some good stuff. And if you can, compare his run at the trials versus the one that he did earlier today in China, you can see that there has been a great movement. We're talking about 0.7 of a second, that he has improved over that last run. So it shows that he's headed in the right direction. I think the coach made a good decision in that regard. And I think what coach is probably going to try to do is get him to peak for the Olympics. So that's where I rest my case on that. About him going through the rounds, he couldn't have managed it, and that's why I think he was good.
Okay. So I'm just going to pull up a report here that I am seeing, right? And it's saying, okay, Kishane, a relatively unknown 21-year-old sprinter, delivered a stunning performance in the prelim round at, the national trials there. And so as we noted earlier, he clocked 9.91 seconds, and then persons, I guess were speculating why was he, absent from the semifinals. And I guess the coach, I'm just trying to look here. So Stephen Francis, so I'm reading from this, I guess it's Loop News article. The celebrated coach MVP Track Club addressed the confusion surrounding Thompson's absence and revealed a carefully planned strategy for the sprinters' limited participation at the national championships. All right, so I'm just going down. So this was in an interview with Sportsmax TV. Francis explained, and I quote, "It was always the plan for him to focus this year on running one-round races. In his previous 2 years with us," so I guess he's there for at least perhaps his third year now, "he struggled with injuries, running only 4 100-meter races in that time and never participating in the national championships. Therefore, we decided that he should run one round here, deliver an impressive time, and then focus on competing in one race in Europe. If he is required for relays, he will be available. All right, so at that time when he did this 9.91, Francis was saying that, the time was impressive, but it fell short of their expectations. And he was attributing that to the organizers' incompetence. So I cannot speak to that. So Francis was saying that a malfunctioning speaker prevented athletes in the outer lanes of the 100 meters straight, including Thompson in lane 8, from hearing the starting gun. So what Francis is saying that, yes, we weren't going to run him through the rounds, and it wasn't that we wanted him pretty much to go to Budapest to run an individual event. If they wanted him for the relays, he would be available. And Francis is also saying that, listen, this time that you see 9.91 was because the speakers were not functioning well, so he was not able to hear the gun, and so I guess you got up late. So imagine getting up late and doing 9.91. So Francis was saying that, that happened there in the stadium. And so he expressed confidence in Thompson's ability to achieve significantly faster times under optimal conditions. So he's saying that, at the trials where he did that 1 round race, because that was the plan was never for him to go through all the rounds, all right, because of injuries that they are managing. So again, I quote, he would have run significantly faster, but the most important thing is that he feels healthy and can look forward to the rest of the summer. We plan to ensure that next year, in the Olympic year, he will have the necessary racing experience and a different attitude to tackle the full program. So Francis is preparing Thompson to do some amazing things at the Olympic Games. So what he's saying is that he will have the experience, having taken this time to manage the injury, giving him, like 1 race and, working. So you'll have that under his belt to execute a full program. So, we're looking forward to that, because, when this man speaks, he leaves no stone unturned, and Kiwi saying here, Kishane is at MVP for only 2 years, and he's an injury-prone athlete, from what I understand. Yes, and this report is confirming that. So, Rurian, what is your take on this update? Perhaps you're muted if you're talking to us, Rurian. All right, at some point, Rurian will perhaps come back online with us. So, or you in the chat, you can let us know what is there. Okay, awesome. Go ahead, Rurian.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's obvious that something is up with this young man. I think Steve may see great potential in him, but he's a little bit skeptical about his health. And as Kerry just mentioned, he seems to be injury prone. So probably what Stephen is doing is trying to strengthen his base, trying to give him as much background work as possible, and also giving him a bit of exposure as well, so that he's able to, execute on the big stage when he goes out there. Because, going out there is not always easy, but going out there under less pressure would definitely help when he's just running 1 race, getting that feel of, international competition and so on. So I think he's going to be a force to be reckoned with next year. And, just looking at it from this standpoint, he just ran a race this morning he's not on the circuit running like the other guys, and he is already below in the nine nines. He ran 9.5. So
yeah, and he's the fastest
Jamaican.
By the way, let me just cut in here a bit. Sorry about that, Rurian. Just to I mentioned that he's the sixth in terms of fastest Jamaican, male of all times, but he's also the fastest Jamaican this year. All right, so he overtook Oblique Civil. So Civil had 9.86 seconds, and now Thompson time at 9.85 makes him the fastest Jamaican this year for now. Yeah, sorry about that. Go ahead, Rurian.
No worries, thanks for that too. So Stephen Francis is a well-renowned coach. He has been doing really well with the athletes. When you think about Xiamen Thompson era when she was under his tutorage, she did so well, and she has her problems with injuries too, with her Achilles heel and so on. And she seems to have found a formula to manage her well, get her peak when it is necessary, and she has run some good times. So, fastest woman that I have been, I think is the 100.
Yeah. Yes.
So this is what it is all about. You need persons who are managing you, thus not only caring about reaping the rewards right now, but over last year. And I think that's what he's working on, making sure he's strong enough to do things that only Thompson can do.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good consideration there, in the context of managing, athletes, not just to get them running, but also in terms of injuries. And so that is also important for when you think about longevity, in how long they can go in the sports, and so that is also important there. And he seems to do a very good job in that context because, we talk and, some things I say to you that I am not a fan of in the context of when he speaks, because I feel that if you have a coach and the coach, knows certain personal information about you, that should be kept confidential. It doesn't matter how your relationship, ends. I am expecting confidentiality, but, they say you give a dog a bone, they deserve the bone, you give them bone. And he seems to do very well in the context of managing athletes with injuries. And we saw that with Thompson, that's Elaine, and now with Kishane. But look at that, the Raimi, Elaine and Kishane. Come on, man. Tell me something in the chat. Isn't this the Thompson era? But, so in that context, and, sometimes, I feel that, as I said, he's going to talk, but I feel that some things should remain confidential between, coach and athlete, client coach relationship, and something should not, even if it comes to the fore, it should not be by way of your coach saying certain or providing certain information, not because we might not be in a relationship or a contractual, agreement. It does not mean that you should come and spill certain information because you were in that position and you got those information by virtue of the position that you were in. You're my coach. And so, but for sure, he's a very good coach, not taking that away from him. But, sometimes I feel like ethically, certain things should not be said. And it's similar to us guys. So for example, you have a good friend and you share certain information with that friend because you trust the person, right? Because if you consider that person an enemy, you would not go there to share the information because you know that this person is going to use the information against you, right? And so you would share the information with somebody you're comfortable sharing with by virtue of the fact that you're good friends and you have certain level of confidence and trust in this person. Say, for example, you and this person, you fall out. You're no longer friends. All of a sudden, you start here your business depend rooftop, right? Everybody is able to view it. And so I don't like that, because you only got that information at the time because you guys, you were good friends and you trusted the person. So let it be. You don't need to come back and use whatever you know to, make someone, feel bad or in that context. So that's pretty much my little take there. So just to kind of explain what I meant by, what I said just now. So KW is saying there seems to be a problem at these meets with speakers. I can remember it happened to Elaine a few years ago. And come on, Jamaica, we can fix that, man. We can fix that. We should not be having issues with speakers. So you need to go in and you do your checks before, during, you just do your checks, man. Speakers, and look at it in a Jamaica, we're doing well. So we can do better than that, man. If that is the case, and KW are confirming, we need to do better than that. Concy, are you going to call me, Concy? Would love to hear from you. Hello to you too there. So Yoda, welcome. Kishane's time was win aided. Not too sure about that, Yoda, but for sure we could check on that. KW, you could check on that for me, because you seem to be the head boy this evening. So if you're just tuning in, welcome. But I guess it would be a legal win, right, Yoda? You can confirm that for me too. If you're just tuning in, welcome to this conversation. Please remember to give this live a like and share. If this is your first time here, this is a safe space where we can share and learn from each other. And please hit the subscription button. All right, do not leave without liking and subscribing. All right, so all right, Kiwi, thanks for doing that. So, but I did not read anywhere where it stated that it was like illegal wind or whatever. So I guess that would have been pointed out. So perhaps it should be good. Okay, thank you, Kiwi. Thanks for checking on that. All right, Rurian, back to you if you're still here and hearing me.
I'm still here with you, listening in to the quality information that you guys are sharing. Yeah, but I hope the amount of spotlight and that is going to be placed on Thompson, this young Thompson here, is not going to. What's his name again? Kishane. Let me try to learn it. Kishane.
Yes, Kishane, and we have Elaine, and we have Natasha Lee Thompson. We're all. It's okay, Kishane.
Kishane, yeah. So, hopefully he's able to manage the spotlight, because I know a lot of persons are going to be talking about him now. And, hopefully he'll continue doing well for his coach himself and for his country.
Yeah, for sure. And, that is what we want to see. We want to see happening. Guys, I have 35 watching, and we do not have 35 likes. So please remember to hit that like button. All right, let's like and help out some community members who might not have their post notification turned on. And also, please hit that subscription button as well. And thank you so much for coming back. Thank you so much for sharing, for liking, for subscribing, for even being here and silent, silent supporters. So thank you so much. All right, let's keep sharing, liking, and subscribing. And for sure, definitely want to hear from you. All right, so the phone number that you can call is on screen. So WhatsApp, you can call that number, or you can continue to share in the chat. If you're new to this space, you can comment. Let me know where you're tuned in from to. Roll call, roll call. Let me know where you're tuned in from. Definitely roll call. So I want to know where you're joining us from. All right, so please share in the chat. So Antigua, are you here? Bahamas, for sure, Bahamas called earlier. Barbados, Guyana, Grenada, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, USA, Jamaica, Jamaica. Where in Jamaica are you tuned in from? I know that Duncans in here. Trelania, where me born and grow. All right, Duncans represented for sure. Suriname, are you here? St. Lucia, UK, BVI, let me know. Let me know where you're tuned in from. Kiwi saying, I am not seeing where the time is wind aided. If it was, it would have been stated from the first report on the race. That's my thought too, but for sure, I love when, you know, double check and double check. I did not see that. I did not see that information there either, but yeah, thank you for checking that out for us, Kiwi. And yes, you know, I know that Duncan, Strelani, Clarendon, are you here? Kingston, let me know. Westmoreland, Senti, Elizabeth, are you here in the chat? Portland, St. Catherine, let me know. St. Thomas, St. Mary, St. Anne, St. James, let me know, let me know. Did I miss any? Kingston and St. Andrew, one there. Let me know if
Yes,
you're here.
you missed Manchester.
Oh,
you missed
Jesus.
Manchester.
Manchester.
Miss Manchester.
Miss Manchester. Altia, are you here? If you're tuned in from Lincoln, Manchester, hello to you. Hello to you. Hello to you. How?
Altia, not call you today.
Divine E, welcome Divine E. Divine E, Stony Hill. So Stony Hill, and I guess that is in Kingston, or Kingston and St. Andrew. So Stony Hill is represented here. Divine E, is this your first time here? Let me know in the chat, and please remember to like, guys, and hit that subscription button. Let's like and, you know, hit that subscription button. So Kiwi, are we going to hear from you this evening? Trelawney, Missy, for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. Duncan Trelawney represented here. Kiwi, are we going to hear from you? Would love to hear from you. And Divine E saying yes. So welcome, Divine E. This is a safe space for you to share, right? It doesn't matter if your perspectives or views or opinions are different from, you know, what is being shared in this space. That is totally okay. We understand that we have different views, right, based on our experience and knowledge. And so we share in a very respectful way. So just to let you know, Divine E, that you have a voice, and that voice is very important to us, and we would love to hear your voice. So don't be afraid to share on the topic, or, you know, you can just share about, you know, if you have something that you like to let us know, that is totally okay too. All right, so you're welcome to share in this space, all right? So with this space, we have a lot of diversity, and from that comes, you know, richness, where we can learn from each other, a lot of richness in this space. So we learn based on experience, based on knowledge, and we understand that, you know, there are no barriers where we can't learn from each other. So it doesn't matter where you're from, your education background. Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're safe over here. So welcome to the Voices in Education community. All right. And big up yourself, Voices. Thanks, Kiwi. We want to hear from you, Kiwi. You're going to call us. So Rurian, back to you. All right, so we'll just wait for Rurian to come back in again. So again, welcome, welcome if you're just tuning
Yeah,
in.
I'm back.
All right,
I'm back.
awesome.
I can see that the Voices in Education family is now divine, right? I'm sure she's going to be
Oh, wow. I like that. Voices in Education family is now divine. Divine, welcome, welcome.
Welcome, Divine. We're happy to have you here, and can't wait to hear your perspective on stuff because as Natasha was saying earlier, we have a lot of richness in personality and diversity right here, and we were just waiting on you to add your inputs. So thanks for coming over. Hope you stick around, and as I said, can't wait to hear from you. We're talking about the performances that took place in the Diamond League in China today, and we were saying that there were some awesome performances. My favorite one was the second place that Thompson got in the 100 meters. So really interesting one, and the fastest time for Jamaican athlete in the 100 meters this year. And it was good. It was a breath of fresh air, to be honest. Even though he didn't win the race, it was the main highlight of the Diamond League for me. So, you could share what was your favorite if you were watching. If you weren't, you could, let us know and we could provide you with some information. I'm sure Natasha has information on that Diamond League. So we could get you up to speed.
So, Ruren, I'm going to just tug at you right now. You're feeling good to be a man this evening?
Always, always, always.
It doesn't matter if you guys are getting a whopping, right?
We never feel that. You feel good, but you feel better with performances like.
For
and
sure.
We love when the ladies are doing well.
Okay, awesome.
And the ladies have been doing well for a long time, so it's good to see a few of the males coming through.
And you know what I like about this space? People are just, very honest in terms of sharing their perspectives, and that is so awesome to just experience because we have male here in this space just talking the things them and say, listen, the women are outshining the men, and we need to see, and we saw that in terms of the closing, in terms of women closing like the 4x4, the relays, and we see them switching the events. Usually it would have been like the females going, then the males. So we see that. So for sure. What parish is Kishane from? Did he run at primary champs, boys champs, parish champs? How was he discovered? Like Kiwi, for sure I am going to do some research. I'm going to do some research because, as I said, I believe he went to Garvey Maceo High School in Clarendon. So I'm going to perhaps say, and this is not necessarily facts now, I'm going to probably say he attended Garvey and he's from Clarendon. Not sure. It's like a mystery. So we need to figure him out. And for sure, we're going to learn more about Kishane and just to find out. So I'm going to see if I can get in touch with some Cubans and, just find out where, Kishane might be from, but I don't know. I don't know. Really don't know, but some good questions, and we'll definitely get some more information as the days go by for sure. As the days go by for sure. Ruren, do you know where Kishane is from? How did they discover Kishane?
Well, I wish I knew, because I would tell you about him a long time ago, but I'm not privy to such information, but a lot of information will be circulating about him soon because for a man not to be running in much competitive races and to be producing those times, that's totally amazing.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So, definitely one that, as you said, we're going to get a bit more from this, Kishane Thompson. So, we're going to hear more about, Kishane, where he's from, and I guess, how he was discovered. And that is important. All right, so Kansi, I am seeing your comment here. So you're saying Kishane Thompson Pace. And then you're talking about the three young ladies. And you're saying Kishane Thompson. So just a couple more race for him. And he will give the USA a run for their money. One love. So do you believe that Kishane Thompson will be the one to stop Lyles? So we're saying that, Elaine Thompson's supported Elaine Thompson, physically, healthy Elaine Thompson would be the one to stop Sha'Carri on the track or in her tracks there. And is it a case where we're believing that Kishane Thompson could be the one to stop Lyles right now, or, has that potential? And I'm looking here at Kiwi. I refer to this man as the ghost athlete. You don't know. So now you see him, now you don't. Okay, Kiwi. So, definitely want to, I guess, learn more about, Kishane. And again, we will see some information, hopefully, in the next few days. Who is Kishane Thompson? So that is the big question. And that is what we are trying to find out in the context of, where he's from. And as Kaylee was asking, what parish did he run at primary champs, boys champs, parish champs, how was he discovered? And so that is what we would like to find out. But I am almost, I don't know, I believe is a Cuban. I believe he's a Cuban. I don't know, but perhaps I read that somewhere, but I can't confirm that. So I am not sure, but Kishane Thompson for sure would like to learn more about Kishane Thompson. And, a lot of us, we want to know who is this mystery athlete, and can Kishane, I guess, come back to bring back us in that, 100 meters in the context of this number one spot. And I guess a lot of us, we have been. Hi, Colleen. Welcome, Colleen. Welcome. Let me know if this is your first time here. I would love to hear your voice, Colleen, so you can call the number that you see on screen. And you're saying he is Jamaican for sure. Black, green, and gold. All right. We claim him. We claim him fully. All right. So Jamaican for sure. So Kansi saying, I think Paceman, Kishane Thompson, is the one that started out for me. And Paceman. Kansi, could you call? Would love for you to explain further your comments there. Call us, Kansi, call us. Call us, Kansi. We love to hear from you. Call us, Kansi. Guys, if you're just tuning in, so I'm just waiting for Kansi to call. Call us, Kansi, call us. Would love to hear from you. If you're able to, Kansi, just give us a call. If this is your first time here, welcome, welcome, welcome. And remember to just close the chat briefly, hit that like button, and also hit the subscription button, all right? Hit that like button and the subscription button as well. Kansi, Call me if you can. Would love to hear from you. All right, so I'm here waiting for Concy to call or share in the chat if she is able to call. Justin, hello, Justin. Good night to you, Justin. Good night to you. So Antigua is here. Hello, hello, and welcome to the people of Antigua. Welcome to the Voices in Education. All right, Justin. You know, I want to hear from you too, you know, Justin. Can't you let me know if you're going to call? Lock Raven, welcome, 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 Lock Raven. I'm doing okay. How are you doing? All right, so the phone line is here open. So not seeing Concy calling in just yet. So perhaps Concy is not able to. But Justin, we want to talk to you too. I want to tell me about the times. Wanted to tell me about the times, Justin. And Kaylee is saying, bless up, Justin. All right, so welcome, Justin. I guess, Justin, you're going to call me soon. So I know I'll be hearing from you soon because, you know, we need to talk. And I wanted to break it down for me, Justin. All right? I wanted to break it down for me. So I know that we'll have some calls coming in soon. And for sure, you know, as always, I love to hear from you. So again, feel free to call the number that you see on screen. All right, so Justin, waiting on the call. Concy, if you're able to waiting on the call as well. All right, or guys, the line is open, so just call. So Colleen is sharing, I watched the race. Kishane Thompson is from MVP Camp. Yes, Colleen, thanks again for sharing and for confirming that. That we know too, that is from MVP, coached by Stephen Francis. So we want to know, Colleen, do you know if he attended Garvey Maceo High School in Clarendon? Do you know which parish he's from? So we're trying to get some information. So if you have information, we're trying to figure out who this mystery athlete is or this ghost athlete, according to Kiwi. So we'd love to hear from you. If you know about Kishane, all right? We'd definitely love to hear from you. So we're talking about Kishane Thompson right now, but for sure, I would love to hear from you. All right, so I am looking at Kishane here, but not seeing any posts, you know, not seeing any posts, just athlete, you know. All right, so not seeing much information here. And Colleen is saying, I don't know, I am a Jamaican. All right, Colleen, all right, welcome. So we know that we have persons from the USA tuned in. And hit that subscription button, guys, and also like this video. Raven is saying, what did Thompson run at the Jamaican trials? So if you're referring to Kishane, he did 9.91, but he just did one round, all right? So that was the plan from Coach Francis for him to do that one round. So he did not show up for the semifinals. So he just ran one race there. And I guess that's the plan too, moving forward, just for him to run one event, I guess, in Europe. That's what we read. So we're not sure if we're going to see him again on the circuit. But, you know, hopefully we do. I believe based on what he did today is after, like, he qualified for the finals. So would love to see him again to see if this time is, you know, consistent or improving. But for sure, he did 9.91 at the national trials. They recently concluded recent national trials there in Jamaica, 9.91. And that was the first time we saw Kishane. And then today in China, he did 9.85 and he got second behind Christian Coleman, who got the win in 9.83. All right. Colleen, he ran sub 10. Yes, he ran sub 10 at the national trials there. And Lock Raven is saying it was a very surprising run. He looks good. Yes, he does. And he seemed to have that, that speed, that top end speed, he finished very well, strong. It was a strong finish because like if there were like a few more meters to go, he would definitely pass Coleman. So he's looking very good. He's looking very good, surprisingly good. So he's looking very good. All right. So Thompson there, definitely looking good. All right. Here we saying if Kishane is fit for the Olympics, he will be the Olympic champion next year. Definitely. I love when you call it, I love when you guys call it, So Kiwi is the first one to call it, to say once he's okay in the context of injury, Kishane is going to be the Olympic champion. So Kiwi, remember that you first said that. All right. And Colleen is saying he ran in China. Yes, he ran in China earlier today. He ran in China. So that's where he got this massive PB clock. This massive PB 9.85. I know, and Kiwi is saying, I know how to analyze an athlete, and this man is the future gold medalist. All right, awesome. So 2024, I guess we can't wait to see that. We're going to see some exciting stuff, and we have, I guess, high hopes, for sure in the context of athletes. And so we want to ensure that they're well and they're doing okay, right? So I'm not seeing any like about information of Kishane. All that I am looking at social media right now, and I'm seeing apparently he has a brother by the name of Kishane. So I'm wondering if he's a twin. I don't know. But I'm on Facebook and I'm searching right now, guys. So I'm doing some journalism, some investigative journalism right now. And what I am seeing, I'm not seeing information about Kishane, but when I check, I realize that family members, and I see Kishane Thompson listed as brother. So guys, I think I'm making a breakthrough here. I think I'm making a breakthrough here, guys. All right, so you see, I'm doing all of this while I'm trying to get, and so when I click to see the brothers about in terms of information, the brother here has went to Garvey Massey High in Clarendon, and places lived, Portland, Clarendon, Jamaica. So I believe they are from Clarendon, or at least they live some point in Clarendon. So I'm seeing life events, move to Portland, Clarendon, Jamaica. So I wonder if it's like Portland Cottage, because there's a place in Clarendon, Portland Cottage. So I am seeing where Kishane, so there's a Kishane Thompson that is listed as Kishane's brother. And on the brother's, information, it is showing that, the brother went to Garvey Massey High School. So we're getting some details here. So you can't say I didn't break it to you. Breaking news, Kishane Thompson has a brother by the name of Kishane Thompson. And in the About section, we're seeing where Kishane attended Garvey Massey High. So pretty much kind of, you know, bringing me closer to what my brain was telling me, that Kishane Thompson attended Garvey Masio. So it could be that, all right? So I'm just seeing that, you know, move to Portland. So I believe this is in there from perhaps Portland Cottage in Clarendon. So do we have anyone here tuned in from Portland Cottage in Clarendon? Guys, share the live right now. We're getting closer to cracking who this mystery athlete, Kishane Thompson, is. So Cubans, persons from Garvey Masio High School, if you're here, let's just share. You're welcome, KW. So we're searching. And what I can say based on what is on Facebook, social media, Kishane listed his brother as Kishane Thompson, and Kishane Thompson attended Garvey Masio High School. I believe based on the information that I am seeing here on Facebook, that they are from perhaps, or they live in Portland Cottage, Clarendon. So let's share the live, guys. Right now, if you have not yet shared this live, just take a few minutes and just share and just ask people to send it out. We're trying to figure out Kishane Thompson, and we're getting closer. We're getting closer. So I'm going to say that Kishane Thompson is a past student by virtue of his brother. And remember, I came here earlier and I said my brain, I feel as if I read it somewhere, that Kishane attended Garvey Masio High School. So and what I see from Facebook, social media, Kishane listed Kishane Thompson as brother. So, you know, I believe Garvey Masio. So we're getting a caller here. Go ahead, caller, you're live.
Hello, good night. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Justin, how are you?
A long day for me.
A long day for you. Tell us why.
Well, you know, back and forth, doing all kind of stuff.
Okay.
You know, just doing some running around. Just not too long ago, get some time for myself so I can relax, and didn't really get to watch the race live, but I went to see the recaps of the race. And the first thing I want to touch on, remember we spoke last night about Fred Curley?
Yes.
And you remember I said that don't be surprised if he don't run 9.8.
Right. So your time was 9.9, like 9.90.
9, just somewhere in the night, because I could not give you the exact time that he would run, but I know he would run 9.9. Right?
Right.
Also, I think I remember telling you that I don't be surprised also if he does not win.
Right.
And that was the case. You know, aside from what happened to Akeem Blake, you know, that's an unfortunate year. That he couldn't, you know, fulfill that race. But let me start with Fred Curley first.
Sure.
Like I mentioned before in the last 2 days, that Fred Curley has not been running well for the season. To me, I don't know. He looked too tense. He's not as relaxed as he once was. I don't know if he has already peaked in terms of his career of running, and then now looking to wind back down. Because if you realize Johan Blake, he no longer can run in the 9.8. That's because of, you know, already peaked throughout his whole career, and it just ending up in the twilight of your career. I hope I'm not seeing the same thing with Fred Curley, because after running that 9, I think it's 9.73, I think his personal best that he ran, he never ran that way again. I don't know if that take a lot out of him, you know, but something is not right in terms of his form. He just looked too tense to me. He looked like somebody that is struggling to run. So that could be muscle factor there. That could be because when I watch Fred Curly, he looked more physical, muscular than before. So I don't know if the extra pound allow him to look sluggish, because he just looks sluggish. It take him a longer time to get in his stride, and that's a problem. So that's why I couldn't tell you that nobody can just run 9, 10, 9 and just come and break the world record. In my experience and knowing somewhat about athletics, I wasn't a runner in my days. I was a football player. Well, the American will say soccer player. So I still have some bit of history in terms of running and what the muscle takes in terms of recovery. Right. Like I said, Fred Curly, to me, he looked sluggish. He looked like a little bit overweight to me. You know, it's not everybody weight suit. You know, if you watch Johan Blake looked like one of those midweight bodybuilder, because he built that way. We know him looking that way ever since. You know?
Yeah.
So I think Fred Curly has to take it back to the drawing board to try to figure out a lot of things. No, let me give Christian Coleman his flowers. Gotta give him his flowers.
Right.
He's been up and down for this season. You know, didn't have a bad season at all. Actually, I think he came third in the. Excuse me. I think he came third in the 100-meter final, behind Noah Lyles and what's his name? I'm not too sure. But I think he came third.
Darnell was second. Darnell was second in that one. No, Darnell was in the 100, or was it 200? I'm just mixing that up. But there was that guy from Africa.
I think Christian Coleman was third. Third or fourth, I'm not certain.
Yeah.
You know, I just probably have to go back and look at it. But he's been running well. Like I said, he always have one problem. Christian Coleman, he's a guy that out the blocks very quick. The first 60 meters of the race, you know, he's going to lead you. But just as we say that top end speed, he started deteriorate as fast as he built his speed. Is the fast he deteriorated in the last 40 meters, in the 100 meters, you know? So, gotta give him his flowers. Big race for him. A personal best, season best also. Tie with the fastest for this season. I always say he always somebody to watch, because he naturally quick in the first 60 meters. His problem was always is his top end. Maintain that speed. He seems to control that speed a bit, because if you watch back the race, he was ahead of everybody.
Right.
And it was a tight win with this Thompson in lane 9.
Yeah.
So if you watch the race now, he was ahead by somewhat in the first 60 meters. But because he was leading so big, he still could maintain for whole that lead just by an inch. So I think he still need to work on that last 40 meters, because I'm still not seeing a change when it comes to Christian Coleman pertaining to hold on to that last 40 meters.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because
so
for sure Thompson was flying like in the latter part of the race. Like if they were supposed to go like a few more, you know, I guess meters there, like Thompson would surely pass him. Like he was flying from lane 10. Yeah, lane 10. So he was flying.
Well, what happened with Thompson? He didn't get the best to start. And not only that, when Christian Coleman is probably one of the best starter in the men 100 meters, you know? So if Thompson probably get a better start today, that could be something that we could talk about. He probably winning the race today. But I gotta go on Xiamen Blake. You know, unfortunately to what happened to him. To be honest with you, I believe he ran today. I believe he would win.
Xiamen?
Because to me,
Okay.
Yes, he looked like between he and Seville. To me, there's something about Akeem that I like. I don't know. I just think that he's the one. You know, I could be wrong, but I think he could be the one that, you know, he and Seville. Also, Kishane Thompson looking like, hey, I'm in the reckoning as well.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So Jamaica, in terms of the men's side of it, Jamaica can look at themselves and say, hey, we have three young men. Three young men actually, you know, can carry the flag for Jamaica. I'm gonna take this call. I'm gonna call back.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. All right.
All right.
So we have Justin there sharing from Antigua. So if you're there listening from Antigua, thank you so much for tuning in. All right, so we're looking in the chat here. And thanks for the confirmation. Thanks for the confirmation, guys, in the context of Tobago and Zarnel, second and third. So Coleman was in the number 4 position. So thanks for sharing that in the chat. And Kiwi is saying the athlete who is running on, it was running on from the back is always dangerous for sure, you know. And, you know, I feel like, you know, Kishane, if he's like this right now and not ready, because Francis is saying he's still in the process, you know. So can you imagine when he is ready, injury-free and okay? We're going to see, we should be seeing some fantastic, you know, things happening there. And again, as Justin mentioned, you know, we have Seville and Akeem Blake. And so, you know, Jamaica is looking good. It's a good look now. And hopefully we'll see that in Paris in a few months from now. And Lock Raven is saying Christian needs to run some more 200s earlier in the year. Okay, Liz got the gold at 9.83. All right, thanks for sharing that. So I guess that's the time. Yeah, so Christian equal Lyle's time. We're leading time. And Colleen is saying Akeem looks like his spikes caused him to slip out of the blocks. All right. I'm not sure, but it seemed as if he was going to get up very quickly, because as if he was jumping out of the blocks and then something happened. But for sure, we want to see him. You know, we definitely want to see him. If you're just tuning in, welcome, welcome to this safe space where you can share. And we definitely share and learn from each other. We do not necessarily have all the answers. And that is why, you know, we share and we learn from each other. All right. So remember to just close the chat briefly and give this video a like. I am seeing 40 persons now on, and we're not yet at 40 likes. All right. So just ensure that you close the chat and like, and also hit that subscription button. Don't be afraid to subscribe. Let me just take this caller. Go ahead, caller, you're live.
Yes, I'm back.
Oh, Justin, okay. Awesome.
Yeah, so I think the Jamaicans have a lot to be proud of, pertaining for the future, with Thompson, Akeem Blake, and Seville. And athletic is just so funny, because you can say these are the next generation for track and field in Jamaica in terms of the male. Then you can, a year from now, somebody can pop up out of college and, you know, be the one to threaten the championship. So, you know, just like a clap of a finger, somebody can pop up and be the next thing in Jamaica. So based on what we've seen for the last, you know, 2 months, and especially today, you know, Jamaica have a lot to be proud of in terms of the man 100 meters. So it should be interesting. It should be interesting. But I have another thing that I want to share also. I don't know, but it just me. Thompson ran a good race. He won a personal best 9.85. and I'm still not hearing enough. You know, I'm looking forward to the chat to be talking a lot about Thompson and his potential and what happened to Blake today. But it seems like only when the female run, you hear everybody talking a lot.
You know, I was talking to Ruru and I was saying, you know, but you know, I guess the men are surprised this evening. The way they're surprised, they're just speechless, Justin. Because Parchment did well too. Parchment, you know, in the 110-meter hurdles, you know, he did sub 13, and we haven't seen that time since 2014 from Parchment. So kudos to him. And you know, the men are doing very well. We see some good performances, but I guess the men are just trying to absorb and, you know, pinch, you know, when you pinch yourself to find out if, is this real? Is this happening?
Right.
Yeah, so.
But, you know, you still maintain that, you know, the two powers in track and field is still Jamaica and the US. You know, it's just that Jamaica was holding that leg in terms of the 200 and the 100 mile for all the meals between you and Blake. Because if anybody can remember, just before you and Blake, before Usain Bolt, it was a Safa Powell. Right. And then, you know, Usain Bolt come on the scene and take it to a different level when you have his competition with his own teammate. And then you have Merca take over for a little bit. You know, so but America feel like that. Hey, we are on top now because we have in the man section we are the champion in the 100 and 200, and we're the champion in the 100 female. But like I said, so many things can happen from now until Paris, and I think Paris is going to be very interested. I'm looking for some fast time in Paris. I think for me, for the person to win the 100 in Paris male would have to run 9.7. I think that the time that is going to be for the final in the men's 100 meter. The 200, somebody have to run 19.4 to win that 200 for Paris. Because, you know, after the World Championship, you will see what mistake that you make, what you can do, what you do wrong that you can correct, what you can do to get in better condition, to get faster. So usually it always be that the time that you run in the championship, because remember the World Athletics Championship is a build up. It's like a semi
Olympic. Yeah, for sure.
Get yourself ready for the Olympics. Yes. Usually is always be if you run when Usain Bolt ran the let me think back. He ran 9.6 or something like that high in the World Championship, and then come in the Olympic and ran 9.62. He ran faster than what he ran in the World Championship. So it usually be like that. Even in the female department, you will find that I think for somebody to win that 100 meter, they will have to run 10.5. I think that is going to be the time set for
the female.
The female. Yeah, if somebody run 10.6, they're going to be 10.61, 10.62. Very low in the 10.6. But I think you have to look out for that time at 10.5, you know? So it always be interesting to watch the World Championship because it takes you into the Olympic to see what to look for. Who is in peak condition? Who look like they're gonna be running fast time in the Olympic coming off of the World Championship. So it's always interesting. The other thing, they say Diamond League is like the Premier League for football, the Premier League for running, the Diamond League. And it's so funny. You can run Diamond League and you can win race, but come to the Olympics and not win any race.
That is true.
Because I remember Talu was undefeated in the 100 meters throughout the whole season in Diamond League. Shakira, she lose a race to Alfred. Alfred was undefeated all season, win all the race in the her school and also in the Diamond League. And then now came to the World Championship and did not place. So it's a tricky thing because sometimes, look, you see, Shelly and Fraser, I think she only ran 2 races.
Yeah.
And she's on the podium for a medal. So sometimes, yeah, we can say, oh, Diamond League show a lot of things, but hey, the main pinnacle of athletics is World Championship and Olympics. Once you're fit for those times, because you can run all the way you want. If you never win a World Championship or the Olympics, that don't qualify you as one of the greats. So I'm intrigued to see, when Olympics come around, God's be alive, to see, what's in store for us from these athletes. So it should be interesting.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. We can't wait. We can't wait for sure to see, what Paris is going to bring. And, we're looking forward because what somebody pointed out too, Justin, is that, yes, Soji pointed that out. Like, yes, we see them on the circuit running a one race, but we need to see them managing the rounds. Because
that's what I was saying, because here what? If you it's a mind thing.
Right.
It's okay, I want to know what this person is doing. But when you have a one-off race, you're not putting too much stress on the muscle to do or to react how we want them to react. Because remember, when you're doing a one race, you can go and let everything go. But when you're doing rounds, you have to pace yourself. You have to pace yourself. You can't just let it all go, because by the time you reach the semi-final, you're burned out. So always winning the World Championship in athletics and Olympics is always going to be difficult because of the rounds. So you will always get that. But there's something that I want to mention. Since I've been watching your show for some time, even when it was the World Championship. You gotta give me what the reason for beating that pot.
For beating that what?
The pot.
The pot cover? Like when somebody wins.
What is all about?
I guess in Jamaica, people just celebrate. So when athletes, win races, they just start knock the pot cover.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
so we
okay,
celebrate
okay.
And sometimes people believe that, I guess, persons are wondering if Jamaicans have TVs. They do, but we like to celebrate. So you'll gather, and if you live close to a neighbor, we start knock the pot cover, because even here, like, I was screaming, and I'm wondering, are they going to call the police? Because they don't understand that it's a Jamaican and, track and field, we take it. So it's just a celebrating thing, to just knock the pot cover and celebrate.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to hear some callers call in, so we can have some more discussion and we can bring up some more topics. So I'll sit back and go back in the chat and see what's going on and listen from the backboard for now.
Awesome. Thanks, Justin, for sharing some good points there. All right, so that's Justin from Antigua. So hello to all the persons tuned in from Antigua. And for sure, I need to go back to the chat right now because the chat is buzzing. All right, so we got that information there. Kiwi, the athlete who is running on from the back, is always dangerous. Yes, I believe I read those ones. And I read that one. KJ, thanks. Best channel, guys. Please like and hit that subscription button. And Kiwi saying Christian Coleman has not been the same. Okay, since he came back, but I think he's coming back, okay? And the female time now, can't do anything about that, I guess. And Colleen is saying, you're correct, they talk more about the female sprinters. So agreeing with Justin there, sharing. And Kiwi here, the Bolt era kind of affect the men right now because no one is going close, or in terms of the men going close to his times or records. The females are closer to the world records. That's why they are more popular right now. And I guess Kiwi was agreeing with Justin there and agreeing with Colleen as well. And Colleen is saying sometimes mental health contributes to the performance, just like Sharika, 100 meters in national at 10.65, and it's the same time Shakari won and won at the championships. All right, Kiwi saying Jamaican tradition for the females to celebrate beating the pot covers. Females do that. So Kiwi, you don't knock pot cover. What do? What do you just sit quietly and watch? What do you do when you see a Usain Bolt winning races, Kiwi? Talk to me. Call me, Kiwi. Call me. And Colleen is like, pot cover is like hitting a tambourine in church. Yes, so yeah. And guys, welcome. If you're just tuning in, welcome to this safe space where you can share your views. It does not matter if they differ from what is being shared here. We understand that you are unique and you bring that uniqueness to this space. All right, so your perspective is definitely welcome. We know that you will share different views based on your experience and knowledge, and we'll definitely love to hear from you. And we share in a very respectful way to ensure that we're maintaining our safe space. All right, Kiwi, you're gonna call? The line is open, so don't be afraid to call in. And if you're new to this space, welcome, welcome. Please hit that like button and of course hit that subscription button as well. Definitely want to hear from you. Mr. Portmore, are you here? Let me know if you're here, Mr. Portmore. All right, so Kiwi. No, I'm seeing no there. No, you're not calling, or was that no in terms of the pot cover knocking? All right, so guys, if you missed the 100 meters run, I'm just going to bring that information up for you again, just to share with you some times from that race and other races there in China. All right, so let me just get this information going. And just to let you know that, there are some questions about Kishane Thompson. Who is Kishane? Where is he from? I've been doing a little bit of investigation and I can see that Kishane listed his brother as Kishane Thompson on social media. I followed Kishane Thompson's, just checked on his page, and I realized that Kishane attended Garvey Maceo High School in Clarendon, Jamaica. And I said earlier that I believe Kishane attended Garvey Maceo. So I want to just use that information to probably say that I am almost correct that Kishane is a Cuban, in the sense that he attended Garvey Maceo High School. All right, so that is what they referred to the students who attended Garvey. That school was built by Cubans, so they refer to themselves as Cubans. So we have Garvey Maceo, one of those schools, and I believe Jose Marti Technical, all right? They're in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. Oh, I'm seeing no to the pot cover knocking. Justin is saying it's different for Sharika in national from the World Athletics Championships, because the competition in World Athletics Championships is the world best and the national is local best, all right? So thanks for sharing that, Justin. And I am still trying to navigate to the information that I want to share with you in terms of some of the highlights in terms of results there in China. And I'm almost there. So in the 100 meters, so the men's 100 meters, all right. Okay, I am seeing here final win plus 0.4. So I am seeing that listed on the results there, but I guess it was a legal win, all right. Christian Coleman, 9.83 in the #1 spot of USA. Kishane Thompson, Jamaica, 9.85. Fred Curley of USA, 9.96. All right, then we have Brandon Carnes, USA, 10.01. Marvin Bracey Williams, USA, 10.02. Johan Blake, Jamaica, 10.04. Marcel Jacobs, Italy, 10.05. Zhen Yi, China, 10.12. Rohan Watson, Jamaica, 10.18. And Akeem Blake, Jamaica, 25.13. And just to add some context to Akeem there. So Akeem stumbled from the block, so he had a little mishap there. So ends the time. He pretty much, I guess, walked to the finish line or drag or, walk to the finish line there or jog. All right, so the next we have men's 400 meters. Final here, Kirani James in the #1 spot. Quincy Hall of USA shared that same time with Kirani, 44.38. Then we have Rasheen McDonald of Jamaica in the 3rd position, 44.82. Some other mentions that we need to, highlight. Hansel Parchment in the 110-meter hurdles, all right? So Hansel Parchment got the better of Grant Holloway in this one. So Hansel in the #1 spot, 12.96. And we haven't seen like this kind of time since 2014 from Hansel. So kudos to Hansel on this one. Daniel Roberts of USA, 13.03, and Grant Holloway, 13.12. All right, so we have some more results for you. 400 meters, women's 400 meters. We have, yes, Justin, very epic. Paulino of the DR, all right, 49.36. Candice McLeod of Jamaica, 50.19. And Lina Irby Jackson, USA, 50.45. And Shade Williams of Barbados, 50.95. All right, so just to share that with you there. And just moving right along, we have the 400-meter hurdles so the women's 400-meter hurdles. So Jamaica got a clean sweep with this one. Rochelle Clayton, 53.56. Andrenet Knight, 53.87. And Genevieve Russell, 54.01. All right, so those were some of the highlights, in terms of the track there. So again, some good results coming out, and the men did their thing today, and I am happy to see that, the men were shining good. So we see Christian Coleman there equaling the world leading time. So that was good to see. We see Kishane Thompson of Jamaica, now the 6th fastest Jamaican, right? With clocking 9.85 there. And I believe he's the fastest Jamaican this year because he has now snatched that from Seville, who has 9.86. So Kishane is now the fastest Jamaican this year, and he's now ranked 22, in the world based on this time. So, and again, we just pretty much see just 2 races. won at the trials and he did 9.91. So he just ran one round. He did not show up for the semifinals, right? And then we saw him today in China clocking 9.85. So just to share some further context with you, that showing up at the trials and doing one round was the plan of the coach because of injury. So they're managing some injury that he has. We're not sure what kind of injury it is at this moment. I don't know if you know and can share, but I do not have that information. So it was the understanding based on what the coach explained. So that is Stephen Francis, that he's just going to do like the one race at the trials and that's it. Not, interested in getting into an individual event. But if they wanted him for the relays, he would be available. All right. So that was the consensus from Kishane and Francis there. And then Francis was saying, and then perhaps, have him run one race in Europe. So I don't know if we're going to see him again for the next, leg, but we know that he, based on what he did today, he's qualified for the finals, the Diamond League finals. So we're not sure if we're going to see Kishane again, but we got 2 races so far from Kishane and 9.91, then now 9.85. So again, impressive run there from Kishane, who I believe is about 22 years old. All right, so we're still trying to get some more information because persons wanting to know how he was discovered. And so far, I am pinning him to Garvey Mascio High School. And, we got that comment over, Kiwi, you're always sharing that, usually the guys who are from the non-traditional high schools, they tend to shine brighter on the world stage. So we're just going to try and get some more information about Kishane Thompson to keep you, informed. So based on my check so far, Kishane seems to have a brother by the name of Kishane Thompson, and Kishane attended Garvey Mascio. It appears that they're from Portland Cottage in Clarendon. So if you can just keep sharing, guys. It doesn't matter if you're in Duncan's Trelawney or in Stony Hills. It doesn't matter. Share, the world is just a small space. It might get to Portland Cottage, all right? So just share. And somebody might be able to phone in and share some information with us, all right? All right, so those are some contexts there surrounding Kishane Thompson. And, I was joking earlier, like, is it a Thompson era kind of thing? No pun intended. But, well, I get that they're not related. Elaine Thompson, Kishane Thompson. I did not see anything suggesting that, but I was just, giving a little, making a little fun there. I am a Thompson. I don't know if I'm related to Kishane. I don't know about that. Kishane is Thompson. I am my Thompson. Elaine, her Thompson. All right. Again, welcome if you're just tuning in. Welcome to this live conversation. All right. We're getting closer to wrapping up, and for sure, I would love to hear from you. Don't be afraid to phone the WhatsApp number that you see on screen, and do not be afraid to share away in the live chat. Remember to close the chat for a little bit and give this video a like, and also hit that subscription button as well. All right. Ensure that you subscribe from your devices. All right. That is important for us to keep on expanding or growing together. All right. Definitely would love to hear from you. All right. If you're just tuning in again, we're talking about takeaways from China. All right. So you can definitely share, or, if you'd like to share some encouraging words for the athletes or something that you'd like to see moving forward, you can definitely share that as well. All right. So let me just check to see if I am missing any calls right now. So that's some information there. And just to let you know that the next Diamond League stop will be in Brussels on September 8th. And as usual, I'll share information on the community tab regarding, you know, entries as soon as I can. And sometimes I share and it gets updated. So, you know, persons, athletes, they might withdraw, or you might have athletes coming in. I don't know how that works, but that can happen too as well. So the Diamond League finals, let me just get that information for you. It's going to be, I believe, the 17th and the 18th, but let me just double check. In Eugene, and this is in September, but let me double check this information. And this information is also posted under the community tab. Please remember to turn on your post notification, right? And in terms of the Diamond League races, I tend to post like the time, start time on the community tab as well. So just for you to have that information. So the final will be the 16th and the 17th in Eugene, all right? The next stop is Brussels on September 8th, all right? So we'll see that for sure. And then Eugene 16th and the 17th there. Also, just to let you know, if you're traveling to Jamaica, all right, I'm just going to read this once you're traveling to Jamaica. So effective September 1st. So that was yesterday. Yeah, the declaration. So the C5 form, so that mandatory form for entering Jamaica, you will now have to complete that online, all right, before you leave or during your flight or when you arrive in Jamaica. You will have persons there helping you. So if you're traveling to Jamaica, ensure that you're completing that C5. So that's the declaration, the customs, you know, passenger declaration form. Ensure that you are completing that. So you need to do that online now. So paper-based no more, it's online. You can do that before or during or when you land in Jamaica. So that's, you know, I just want to point that out to you, all right? Just definitely want to point that out to you there. I'm just checking the chat. The chat is a bit quiet right now. Chat is a bit quiet, so let's keep the chat going. Let's keep the chat going. Or, you know, you can phone the number that you see on screen. We just have a few more minutes to go before we close this one. And for sure, I would love to hear from you. Rurian, if you're hearing me and you want to come in and share some more, for sure, you know, you can definitely share there. Anthony is giving us some correction here. Welcome, Anthony. Welcome, welcome. Oblique was 4th and Coleman was 5th. Okay, thanks for sharing that. Thanks for sharing that. I need to go back and check. So Anthony is giving us an update here in the context of the World Championships 100 meters. That Oblique was 4th and Coleman was 5th. All right, so thank you, Anthony. About 10:15, so just a few more minutes to go, KW. So are you going to call KW? Unless persons have, you know, more to say, but that's the time for now. So are you going to phone in? I see you no longer want to cross the ocean. Are you going to phone in? So just waiting for Kiwi to respond there. All right, so just waiting. All right, not seeing any further updates from Kiwi. Let me just check the phone line. No updates. You're just laughing at me, Kiwi, just laughing at me. So do you have any final comments, anything that you'd like to share? You can let me know in the chat. Are you, so to all the men on the live right now, are you optimistic based on what you're seeing now? Do you believe that, Jamaica, it's a good look and overall for the sports? Are you more confident in the males? All right, getting a call here. Hello, caller, you're live.
Hello, Rurian back here.
Hi, Rurian. Yes. Thanks for calling back.
Yeah, interesting discussions. Which let's say that what's the thing Justin broke down the one. I know it's based on each.
You're a bit low or a bit unclear, I should say.
Are you hearing me better now?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I was saying that I love the way that Justin broke down the way the different athletes who participated in the 100 meter he was talking about earlier and a few others. But overall, I think it was a good turnout for the Jamaicans in China. Tough luck to Blake, who tripped out of the block. And, hopefully he'll get a chance to redeem himself at the next Diamond League.
All right, Rurian, I'm just going to pause you there and just take this caller.
Okay, no worries.
Hello, caller, you're live. Hello, caller, you're live. All right, perhaps this one did not come through. So let me see if I can get this caller back on. All right, it's coming in. Hello, caller, you're live. Caller, you're live.
Yeah, I'm live.
Could you turn down your YouTube feed, please?
My YouTube feed?
Yes.
Hold on a minute. Yeah, it's done now.
Yes, I'm hearing you better.
Yeah, I'm live.
Go ahead. How are you and where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm doing real good. I'm calling from Knoxville, Tennessee.
Tennessee. Wow. Welcome. Is this your first time here?
Yeah, this is my first time calling.
Awesome. And what is your name if you'd like to share?
Jamaica.
Jamaica. All right. Awesome, Jamaica. Yeah. Welcome to the Voices in Education community.
Yeah. Is this about track and field?
Yes.
Okay. And then Jamaicans great.
Okay.
They're great sprinters, right?
Right. I agree.
They're looking better and better every year. But they lost their race to Shikari.
Yeah.
I didn't like that though, but it's part of the game.
For sure.
You win sometimes you lose, right?
Definitely.
But I wonder what them Jamaicans got up their sleeves planned for her.
Well, I guess they'll have to come back next year in Paris.
Are you Jamaican?
Yes, I am Jamaican.
Okay, okay. And this podcast is a Jamaican podcast?
It's for everyone, not just Jamaicans. So we share. So we're not saying we don't bash athletes. We support everyone. So if you're a Sha'Carri fan, that is totally okay. You come and you share about Sha'Carri. You know, we don't do that. So this is a positive place where we just share our perspectives, and we know that our perspectives will be different from each other, but we do that in a very respectful way. So you're welcome to share your views. That is totally okay. It doesn't matter if it does not side with what the Jamaicans may want to hear. No worries with that.
Yeah. But my favorite athlete is Xiamen Thompson.
Okay.
That's my girl, but she's not running good this year. I wonder if she's gonna get better.
Well,
start running good again.
We're hoping for her to get better. So why do you like Xiamen?
Why do I like Xiamen?
Yes.
Because I'm from Manchester.
Okay. You're from Manchester. Where in Manchester are you from?
Christiana.
Okay. So is that near to Banana Ground?
It's up in the hills, just like Banana Ground.
Okay. So we... Okay, awesome.
But she's the fastest woman alive.
Yes, for sure. Right? We can't dispute that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But they could go ahead and sleep on her. She gonna get better. Yeah, she gonna get better. She gonna start showing signs of getting better from this year going into 2024. And at the Olympics in Paris, she's gonna show out.
Yeah, we want to see that. She normally does, so she normally makes her comeback at the Olympics. So we want to see that.
Yeah. So I want to tell them, don't sleep on her. Don't act like she's just any regular Joe. This is the fastest woman alive.
Right.
Yeah, I hope it gets better for her, though. I just want to say that, but I see I got you on my TV. What is it about this guy, Thompson?
So we're trying to find out. So is this kind of mystery person? So we just saw 2 races from him in the national trials there back in Jamaica in July. He ran 1 round and he clocked 9.91 seconds there. And then we saw him today in China. So in China, he clocked a massive PB of 9.85, making him the
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, making him the 6th fastest Jamaican of all time in the male 100, meters there. So we're trying to find out, who he is. So far, based on some, putting some bits and pieces together, we believe he attended Garvey Maceo High School in Clarendon. And so it appears too that he might be from Portland Cottage, or at least lived in Portland Cottage in Clarendon. So we want to, persons in Portland Cottage, if you're here and listening, our persons here, just share this, live. And we hope to hear from someone in Portland Cottage or someone who knows more about Kishane to share with us.
I heard he's Elaine's cousin.
Well, I can't confirm that. I don't know about that. I am a Thompson too, so I could be Elaine's cousin.
Okay, yeah. Thompson is a popular name in the islands, right?
I guess so, but I guess so. So, I have some family in where is that place? Somewhere close to, I guess, Pauline's, Christiana there. Is there a place close by Coleyville?
Yeah.
I have some family there. You know, some Thompsons are there. So if you're tuned in from in I believe Coleyville, I'm not too sure, but if you're tuned in from that area, hello, hello, hello. All right. So yeah.
No, I'm not from Coleyville.
Yeah, I think you said you're from Christiana, right?
Christiana.
Yeah.
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 It's up in the hills too, like Coleyville.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But he's a mystery guy.
Yes, we're trying to figure him out.
He didn't run for Jamaica though.
No, he did not go to the championships to compete in an individual event. So the coach pretty much said that, you know, they're managing some injury that he has. We're not sure as it relates to the nature of the injury. So we're just, you know, waiting to get some more information. And persons are wondering how he was discovered. And, you know, we have those questions. So we are hoping to get some more information regarding Kishane Thompson.
Yeah. But God, it's kind of strange though. He just came and performed in the East and left. You know, it's kind of funny.
Yeah, that was a tactical move by the coach based on what he explained.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. And he didn't go to Budapest.
Even if he was there, I guess he was a spectator. But
he was a spectator.
I don't know if he was there. Yeah. So he did not participate. I can't recall seeing him on any eats. So the coach said at the time, you know, if they wanted him for the relays, he would be available. But I guess they weren't interested in the individual 100 meters event.
Okay. And he turned up in China and performed today.
Yes.
Came second.
He came second with 9.85. Yeah.
85. Yeah, that's a good time.
For sure.
That's a good time. Yeah. But he got to do better than that, though. Yeah, if he's going to try to beat that guy, Noah Lyles. I mean, our guy, Akeem Blake beat Coleman before. And I don't understand how he dropped off like that.
I don't
Akeem
know.
Blake.
Yeah, I don't know. Something went, I don't know if he was trying to come out too quickly from the blocks. But yeah, something happened there.
Yeah, but his time fell off though. He hasn't run that fast since he beat Coleman. You know, it's kind of funny. And then again in the relays, I don't know why they didn't let Elaine perform in the finals.
That's a big question. Yeah, that's a question that some people have as well.
That's why they lost. Yeah. It's just a whole bunch of this stuff going on that's unexplainable, you know? Because even when Sherika lost to Chicago in the 100 finals, I didn't understand it. I started saying some kind of conspiracy.
Well, it's not. It's not, you know, they're experienced athletes, so they should know when they win a race or lose a race. But what happened is that, and as persons explained, you know, getting a little bit of feedback from you. So as persons explained, you know, Sherika does not have that top end speed. So this is what some persons were explaining some nights ago to fuel her to the end.
That's wrong though. Sherika is a 400-meter runner, right? She has top end speed. You know, she's a 200-meter runner. You see, Shikari can't even beat her over 200 meters. That means her top end is better than Shikari. There is something wrong. I can't put my finger on it, but there is something wrong. And I don't want to say people are selling out races, but is something wrong with that picture. Sherika looked like she slowed down.
Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah.
So, and that's what some persons were saying, that she perhaps did not have the speed to go to the end. And just to remind you that it isn't the first time that Shakari is coming from behind to win Sherika in a race. So we have seen that on the circuit, the Diamond League. So, you know, that too.
And then, you know how I look at it, last year, she couldn't catch Titi Terry. This year, she couldn't catch Shikari. And every time Shikari and her race, Shikari wins. So I don't know. Something is wrong.
Well, Shakari said she's not back. She's better. So kudos to Shakari for being better. So, you know.
But she can't beat Gabby Thomas and she can't beat Jerica. I don't understand it. And something ain't right. She signed with Nike. And, you know, something just ain't right. That is why Elaine changed from Nike, you know that.
I don't know. I don't know that, so I can't speak to that.
Yeah, she said that. She said that Nike is giving Shikari better promotion than her, and she's supposed to be the star athlete. Yeah, and that's why she left Nike for Puma. You didn't know that?
I know that she switched, but I'm not sure if she called, like, you know, an athlete name, so I can't speak to that.
Yeah, she did call her name. She said Shikari's on their front page, and I am the fastest woman alive in both 1 and 200, and I'm not getting that kind of what's the word she said? In other words, she's not getting that kind of promotion from Nike. So what Nike is saying is that Shikari got a bigger following.
Okay.
And it's just business. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. But something ain't wrong.
Well,
you know, track and field. It'll come out because it can't hide.
Yeah, so when you hear more, you can call us again and update us on any information that you have there. So how is it? What's the weather like in Tennessee now?
Well, it's nice. It's not too cold. It's not cold at all.
Okay.
And then it's not too hot because we're up in the mountains.
Okay.
Yeah, Tennessee is our highest state. You know, it's mountainous. The mountainous country, the Rockies. So, you know, it's nice. Cool breezes. Yeah, but I tell you though, there is something wrong. We'll find out. And they're too close. Shakari and what's her name?
Sherika.
Shikari, yeah. Huh?
Sherika.
Yeah, Shikari and Sherika are too close.
Okay. So you don't like that.
There's something wrong. You know Shikari is gay, right?
All right, we can't talk about that, so we'll just leave that kind of conversation there in terms of, you know, personal. So we try not to go personal in that context. All right?
Yeah, I understand, but she didn't hide it. She said she used to talk to a Jamaican girl before.
That's okay, and that's her personal life, and that's okay.
Yeah, but I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying she is.
Yeah, so that's totally fine. So would you like to share anything else with us?
No, ma'am, that's it.
Okay, so remember to subscribe and touch that bell. So turn on your post notifications so that you do not miss any updates from this channel. And we'd love to hear from you again.
All right, I will.
All right.
Okay, you take care now and have a good day.
Thank you. You too. All right. Hello.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Hello to all the persons tuned in from Tennessee. And, you know, if you're listening there in Christiana as well, hello to you too. All right. Hello to you too. All right. Let me just go back to this chat quickly. Okay, and Kiwi saying don't have much to say tonight. Was being a, you know, being a listener tonight. All right, Kiwi, thank you. You said a lot in the chat though, so point taken, but not taken. You shared a lot, so we really appreciate that. And Anthony, that makes him the second time, or yeah, he came fourth. Yes. And he has been missing the podium, so we're hoping to see some changes, you know. For me with Civil, it's just that, you know, looking left, right, look, you know, I guess it's something that can be worked on. So hopefully we'll see, you know, bigger and better things, you know, from him. And so just want to say big up to Kishane. Jamaican men sprinting is coming back for sure. Thanks for sharing that, Kiwi. Anthony Kishane Thompson is a product of MVP camp. Yes, we confirmed that. And Anthony, you know where he's from. And, you know, we're trying to figure that out, but we're saying that he at least lived in, it appears, let me put it that way, that he lived in Portland Cottage, Clarendon, or somewhere there in Clarendon. And it also appears that he attended Garvey Maceo High School, all right? And Colleen is saying that he had multiple injuries, so MVP wanted him, I guess, to prevent future injuries or further injuries, all right? So that's the reason. And you're saying he ran July this year in Germany, okay? Kishane Thompson clocked sub 10 time in men's 100-meter heats at Meeting International. Okay, thanks for sharing that, Colleen. And Kiwi is saying it was a money move for Elaine. Definitely, yeah, I agree with that one. Namara, welcome to the chat. Welcome again. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome to the Voices in Education. All right, this is a safe space for us to share and learn from each other. Rurian, sorry, you can just call back or just come back on and let us wrap this one up. I know you were sharing some final comments there. So Rurian, you can definitely join me and, you know, let us wrap this one up this evening. Again, guys, thank you so much for, you know, sharing. Thank you so much for, you know, commenting in the chat. And, you know, we'll continue in terms of trying to see if we get some more information about Kishane Thompson. All right. So we're definitely going to see if we get some more information there about Kishane Thompson, you know, as Kiwi would ask, how was he discovered, you know, in the context of track and field? All right, so again, just share this channel with friends and family members and check your devices. So hello to all the persons from Manchester. We just got a caller from Tennessee who is from Manchester, Christiana in Jamaica. So if you're tuned in or if you're listening, you know, abroad there in the US and you're from Christiana, big up yourself. All right, so not hearing from Rurian right now, but just remember before you leave to like and subscribe and tell a friend to tell another friend about the Voices in Education. So I am just checking. I'm going to do a final check in the chat to see if I have any final comments, and I am not seeing any. Let me just double check. I'm not seeing any final comments here. So again, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for making this another great live. And Rurian, You're on. What are
Hello.
some final comments you have to share before we wrap this one up?
Well, before we wrap this one up, I have to say thanks to each and everyone that came on and shared their
Let me just put you on hold a little bit. No, just stay on the line. I just want to say Namara is saying this is my second time. Thank you very much for the good commentary about track and field. May God bless you. Blessings to you. God's continued blessings to you too, Namara, and to all the persons a part of this community. And Namara, I believe you're from Uganda. Did I get that right? Sometimes I can't really recognize the flags. So let me know in the chat, Namara, if I got that right. Go ahead, Marian.
Yeah, I was just saying, thanks to everyone who joined us tonight in this program and, contributed, whether they called in or just by just, placing a comment or two in the chat, or even if they didn't, but just gave a listening ear. And, it's always open for you whenever you feel comfortable to share on this platform, because that's what we're all about. We're all about giving you the opportunity to voice your concerns, your opinions on any issue that we are talking about and that you want to talk about, because this is a safe space for us to interact with each other. And I hopefully you guys are feeling comfortable. I see a lot of persons coming in and commenting, and that's what we want. And we learn so much from just having this platform and hearing you contribute. So we're just going to encourage you to keep supporting us, keep coming here. Let us keep this family together. Help us to examine and look at the whatever topic or sporting event that we're looking at or issue. A matter of fact, will help us to just look at that from different perspectives so that we're able to dissect what is happening and get a better understanding of what is happening. As it relates to the Jamaican athletes, I think that's where I stopped when I came out the first time. Great performances came in, throughout from both males and females. I can't forget what's her name that won the 400 meters. You would remember, not actually.
Rochelle Clayton, you're talking?
Russian Clayton, yes, and that clean sweep for the 400 hurdles, that was awesome. Hansel Parchment doing what only Hansel Parchment can do, just showing up and putting in some big performances when you probably would least expect it. And my favorite performance of the day, which is Kishane Thompson's 9.85 in the 100 meters race. Awesome running by the young man, and I wish him all the best. And for all the other athletes who participated as well, I'm going to just single out the Jamaicans because I'm Jamaican still. Johan Blake did his thing there. Akeem, that's his name.
Yeah.
Blake fell out of the block. I'm just hoping that next time he'll be able to represent himself better. And, all the other persons who came out and participated, I just want them to know that, just keep on putting in the work and the results will come. I know it's a challenging sport. I know it is hard. And, just to get out there and to be performing, to be invited to these meets, or if that's how it works, you have been doing something well, and somebody's seen something within you. So just continue doing what you're doing, and your day will come when you will be able to perform and be on top of the podium. But I have to end with the performance of all the persons who are coming here night after night, day after day, live after live, to participate and share their views. Your thoughts, your views are greatly appreciated, and we love having you here. And to the new subscribers, I'm just going to give you my warm welcome. Welcome to this family, and welcome to this platform, and looking forward interacting with you.
Awesome, Rurian. Thank you so much for, just cementing all of that for us here this evening. And so, and as I
You're welcome.
always say in terms of, wrapping up, we can take away lessons from sports, just about anything in life, and apply it to our own, personal life. And so similarly to how you might see Akeem falling from the blocks, sometimes we have setbacks, but sometimes we can use our setbacks, to prepare us for, a bigger comeback. And so what I am saying to you, give yourself space and grace. Do not be too hard on yourselves, and just understand that, we all make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, and mistakes are learning opportunities. All right. So Namara is saying yes. Okay, Uganda. Hello to all the persons tuned in from Uganda. Greetings from Kampala, and we're sending back greetings to you there in Kampala. So soon, Namara, I'll have the entire Kampala subscribing, right? All right, so Namara is going to ensure that we get some more subscribers from Uganda for sure. Thank you so much, Namara. Really appreciate it. And I look forward to hearing from you, Namara. So one of these days, for sure, call in and let us talk. Tell us what is happening in Uganda. Would love to hear from you, Namara.
Natasha Lee, I'm happy that you raised that point too. We would like to know what athletics is like in your part of the world. What is working, what isn't working, and just to get an idea of how athletics is in your part of the world. So please consider giving us a call on the time. We want to learn about your context. So please share whenever you get that chance.
Yeah, for sure, Namara. So again, it's an open invitation for you to share and let us know, what it is like there in Uganda in the context of track and field. So for sure, would love to hear from you. All right. Again, thanks everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for making it another great conversation and for protecting our safe space. To all the persons in the chat, to all the silent listeners, supporters, to everyone who like, subscribe, share, to all the callers, thank you so much for, again, supporting this space. And it can only get better as we grow together. Blessings and love, everyone. And I'll see you in the next live. I'm just going to play out my slide here, and then we'll just close out. All right. So thank you so much. Take care, everyone. And I'll see you in the next live video. Ensure that you tap that bell. Yes, turn on the post notification so that you do not miss any updates from this channel. Thank you so much for tuning in, and see you in the next video.
subscribe to this channel